extended greetings. So, this is what I'm working with. Palestinians have demanded, and some bodies have awarded them without the approval of Israel, something called the right of return, meaning that they want to come into Israel. They want to come into Israel, a sovereign nation, regardless of what the law is of Israel. And the idea that I am now starting to embrace is that what they call the right of return looks like October 7th. That's what they want. That is their right of return. They want to come and commit unspeakable butchery and mayhem. I looked at some of the photos. I'm trigger alert for people who don't like blood and gore and guts because I'm about to say something graphic. So tune out for about a minute. I looked at some of the pictures of October 7th 2 days ago, and there was a picture of a man and his heart had been cut out. It has a guy in his car. They cut out the guy's heart. And I've heard these guys, these Palestinian terrorists, including on this app, say they want to eat our heart. I don't know if the guy. I don't know if.
Now y'all bombing him. No, stop it.
We would love to talk. Okay, this is your second warning, ODM. There will not be a third. We like to hear your contribution. We want to keep you on stage. But if you interrupt somebody again, I have to dump you to the goo for the rest of the show. But you have my word, and Uncle Steve never lies. Ask anybody. We will come back around. So if you want to comment on a prior speaker, take notes on a scratch piece of paper, but please do not interrupt. Norm, go ahead.
Thank you, reclaiming my time.
Of course. You get 4 more minutes, not a problem. Go ahead.
Appreciate it. So, the mastermind of October 7th, the worst slaughter of Jews since the Holocaust, had his life saved by a Jewish dentist who was examining his teeth and discovered that there was something in Yahya Sinwar's head that seemed like a tumor. They checked, it was indeed a tumor, and Israel, at their own cost, took this guy's tumor out and kept him alive.
Norm, you dropped out. Oh, go ahead.
Am I back?
You're back. Yeah.
He was then part of an exchange for prisoners. Before he left, he said to the guy who saved his life, "Someday, our positions will be reversed. I'll be sitting where you are. You will be sitting where I am, and I will eat your liver." That's what he said. It's on the record. And that's what they apparently want to do. They want to commit cannibalism. I think we have every obligation to prevent this. I'm believing now that this is a lot like the Cold War. It didn't matter what you said to the Soviet Union and all the countries that they conquered, many countries in Eastern Europe. They just brutally dominated their own people, whom they slaughtered and sent to gulags if you disagreed with them. The totalitarian, fascist, authoritarian system that they first imposed on the Eastern Bloc and then tried to impose on the United States, and came close to even starting a nuclear war by putting nuclear weapons in Cuba. It doesn't matter what you say or do with these Palestinians. They want to destroy the West. Not just Jews, not just Israel, but you and me, Christians, Muslims. They have one sign that says, first we come for the Saturday people, that's the Jews, then we come for the Sunday people, that's the Christians. So unfortunately, it seems to me that I don't know if any kind of deal will be possible long term. There may be a short term deal to get some hostages back. Doesn't look that great, but it might happen. But long term, the only solution, I think, to this conflict is absolute military defense against anybody who picks up a gun and tries to threaten either the Western people, because there have been more than 50,000 jihadist terrorist incidents in the West, all over Europe and Asia and Africa and in the United States, or anybody who tries to threaten Israel. I just think there's going to be a zero tolerance policy. I believe the jihadist terrorists, and again, Hamas is part of the Muslim Brotherhood, which wants to destroy the West and also dominate the Muslim world. So they want to kill Muslims who disagree with them as well. The only solution is going to be absolute military domination, military defense against even the slightest glimmer of any kind of violence from the jihadists. And that's where I will land it. Oh, by the way, there is a commentator called Einat Wilf. Now, I think she's an atheist, Steve. You may like her. She's also beautiful. She was former member of the Knesset. Einat, E-I-N-A-T, Wilf, W-I-L-F. And she has a book called The War of Return, in which she theorizes, as I said, that October 7th is what they mean by return. They want to cut out our hearts, literally. And obviously, we have an obligation to defend against this. And I think Israel has both the ability, and so does the United States, the willingness, ability, and equipment to defend against jihad.
Norm, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And let's see if Reverend Scott left. I was going to bring up something, but Reverend Scott left. Let's go back to Alfonso. Would you like to contribute at this time, or are you good? Alfonso is probably good. Let's see, we got a new speaker coming up, and we do put a premium on new speakers. There we go. Shape, good morning. Welcome back to Ask the Atheist with the Mod Squad. It's a pleasure to have you here. Would you like your fresh five at this time, or do you want to wait?
I'll take a couple minutes. It won't be.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I too am working on a theory like the prior speaker. My theory is that what the Israeli Defense Forces call defense is actually the killing of 30,000 women and children. So that's like part of my theory. The second part of the theory is that defense is just a nice way to justify killing people that do represent a threat to future Israeli territory. And so rather than work through negotiations, we'll just use the term defense, and we'll just keep killing them until they have to surrender. And that's all I've got, Steve. Thank you.
Steve, did we lose you?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's go. Appreciate that. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, would you like to contribute at this time? Jeff, or are you good?
I'm good. I'm not going to wade into Middle Eastern issues. I'm good for now. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Okay, now we get to ODM. Okay, ODM, you get a fresh five. Go ahead.
No, that's a very sensitive topic. Now, I don't like people dying. I don't like bullying, and you're right. We got to figure something out, Steve. Can we help us, man? Steve, please. That thing bothers me every day. I cry about that one, man. Every day.
Well, I am here to help. And since we have no new speakers on stage, again, if you're in the audience and you want to come up.
I have a comment.
Oh, Richard, go ahead, Richard. You didn't even take your fresh five before, I don't think so.
I did not.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I would like to call to everyone's attention two numbers that have been mentioned on today's discussion. Earlier in the conversation, Uncle Steve, you called to the attention, speaking to a prior speaker, about 110 dead people in a
110 to 120 dead innocent children, not
children.
even teenagers. Yes, children. Yes.
And just a few moments ago, I think it was Shape or somebody
The prior speaker,
Prior speaker.
No, everybody go on mute except Richard. Okay, go ahead.
Mentioned 30,000 dead women and children in the conflict in Gaza. So just calling it to everyone's attention. A slow-moving horror. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, what do they say about war? The two, I forgot.
First casualty of war is the truth.
Thank you. The first casualty of war is the truth. The second casualty of war is that innocent people die. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. No one new is on stage, so we can go to a couple of news stories. See if this helps you. A federal judge blocked a Washington state law that would have required Catholic priests to report child abuse learned during confession, citing priest-penitent privilege and First Amendment protections. A high-stake clash between protecting the vulnerability and preserving sacred rights, in this case privacy, carried the day, but the debate is far from over. Anti-Muslim vandalism spurs mosque security boosts. Following recent graffiti attacks at mosques in Texas and California, some drawing stars of David on Muslim houses of worship, community leaders are increasing security and emphasizing interfaith solidarity. When the mosques get tagged, neighbors often step on to clean. It's a reminder that community is stronger than hate letters in spray paint. Let's see, what's next? Safe House nonprofit wins religious freedom ruling. The U.S. Appeals Court ruled that Safe House, a nonprofit running a proposed supervised injection site in Philadelphia, this is when I wanted to talk to Reverend Scott because he's in Philadelphia, may claim protections under the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, even though it's not formally religious, because its missing is informed by Judeo-Christian values of life-saving care. Turning the faith freedom script, not a church, but a mission worthy of legal sanctuary, faith meets public health in unexpected places. And we'll do one more, and then we'll see if anybody wants to speak. Pew Research, our gold standard here on Ask the Atheist with the Mod Squad. A recent AP NORC poll shows about 60% of United States adults back the idea of religious chaplains in public schools for counseling or pastoral care, but mandatory or teaching-led prayer and public funding for religious charter schools remains unpopular. Americans want pastoral presence, but not preacher-led programming. Religion as guidance, not government. Just a couple of stories that are in the news today. If you want to come up and talk about anything you want, doesn't matter if I agree with you or don't agree with you, just have a take and don't suck. Raise your hand and you can come on up. Let's try, let's see, how about we can go back to Benjamin. I promised you a Fresh Five in hour number 2. Would you like another Fresh Five, Benjamin? No.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I was just looking for this reference. I think I found it here. I found the link. Here it is. Let me get you that.
Thank you for speaking without food in your mouth. I do sincerely appreciate it.
You know, you called me, you called on me while I had a piece of pineapple.
You can always say, come back to me.
I just swallowed it, it's no problem.
Yeah, okay, all right.
So here's the article I put in. It's kind of interesting. It says, a line increases trust in science, study funds.
What increases trust? What?
Lying. The paper.
Lying increases trust?
Yes.
You gotta give me an example. one example of where lying
Link is in the
increases trust.
description.
My eyesight sucks. I haven't read the link or the article. Give me one example of where lying
I'll just
increases
read for
trust.
I'll read for 1 minute. Tell me what 60 seconds is.
Go ahead.
The paper, published in the journal Theory and Society, starts by outlining the bizarre phenomenon known as the transparency paradox. That transparency is needed to foster public trust in science, but being transparent about science, medicine, and government can also reduce trust. Hyde argues that to find a solution to this paradox, it is important to consider what institutions are being transparent about. The study revealed that while transparency about good news increases trust, transparency
And
about
I'm going to
bad
stop you
news-
there. Hello. Why don't you get to the part where it talks about lying?
You cut me off right at this part. Transparency about bad news, such as conflicts of interest or failed experiments, decreases it. So if science is transparent about things that go wrong in science,
I still haven't heard
decreases-
anything or the word lying. I'm still waiting.
Therefore, one possible solution to the paradox and a way to increase public trust is to lie, which Hyde points out is unethical and ultimately unsustainable. For example, making sure bad news is hidden and that there is always only good news to report. Instead, he suggests that a better way forward would be to tackle the root cause of the problem, which he argues is the public
Well, actually, you make an excellent point.
When do I know?
Hang on. And Norm, if you're there, unmute. Yeah.
I'm unmuted.
Yeah, hold on. Let me set it up. Let me lob you a softball so you can hit a grand slam out of the park. Norm has a lot of journalistic experience, arguably an expert, and there's an old saying in journalism that if it bleeds, it leads. So when Benjamin talks about getting the trust by hiding the bad stuff, arguably, the news that really sells is the bad stuff. Norm, I'd love to hear your take if you feel comfortable.
Of course, 100% true. There's another more recent expression: no Jews, no news. So there's genocide going on in Sudan. There was genocide in Syria.
That's the first time I've heard that one, Norm.
Yep, put it on the wall. So nobody cares about all these disgusting genocides being carried out around the world, but they take a fake claim of genocide and try to pin it on the Jews in Gaza. We know nobody wants to watch a smooth train running on the tracks. But as soon as you have a train wreck, everybody wants to hear about it and see about it immediately. Please continue, Norm. Yeah, so I was going to say, when was there ever in the history of the world a genocide that could be stopped with a phone call? Hamas, all they had to do is pick up the phone and say, here are your hostages back, we surrender. Not one single person in Gaza would have had to die. Never mind the people who had to die in Lebanon, the terrorists up there, Hezbollah. They fired 10,000 missiles at Israel since October 7th, or the people in Syria. Although I think the result of getting rid of Assad was good because he was a butcher. I mean, this whole thing was deliberately engineered to destroy Israel in a ring of fire. Hamas to the west, Hezbollah to the north.
All right, well, we'll come back. I just wanted to go to you for the journalistic point of view. No, we'll come back to you. I want to finish up with Benjamin, and Mr. is new on stage. So after Benjamin,
So put another link in
yes,
the chat because
Yes.
I'm the only one of the nieces and nephews who actually backs up what I say. Unlike everybody else who's got an opinion, I provide the I bring the receipts.
talk about lying. Yes.
Well, you can talk about lying while you review all of the chats this morning. There's some number of them. I don't know how many. But I think I'm the only one that has actually put in links to support what I'm offering here. So the other nieces and nephews. But
I put in for Benjamin.
Well, that's why I said to Benjamin, talk about lying. But Benjamin, you got 2 minutes left, and I want to go to Mr.
They wouldn't know the difference between their opinion and an asshole. But but I do, and so I just demonstrate, and maybe if others pay attention, they'll learn. This is an article by The Guardian. Scientific publishing needs urgent reform to retain trust in research process. Now, what's interesting here, Steve, is that you and I have spoken before, and often when you and I speak, we speak about the need for reform in the research process. And a lot of times you call me a liar, or you belittle this in 100 ways, and so forth. But look, this is The Guardian. I don't know if you've ever heard of The Guardian. It's one of the leading reporting institutions in, I think, the UK. And they're putting that down on their own paper. So it might just be the case, Steve, that when you disagree with me, it is because you are not yet informed. So I try to fix that by bringing these articles.
Thank you.
The
dysfunction.
I'll just read a little bit. The dysfunction of scientific publishing that your article so aptly captures derived from two forces: quality of scientific papers questioned as academics overwhelmed by the millions published. Researchers are incentivized to publish as much as possible, and publishers make more money if they publish more papers. Artificial intelligence will not fix this. Turning out more papers faster has gotten us to this place. Given current incentives, AI only churning them out even faster. A paper written by AI, peer-reviewed by AI, and read only by AI increases.
Benjamin, thank you. Thank you very much.
You are so welcome. I do everything I can to educate, and I hope that somebody got a clue this morning.
Let's go to Mr. Mr., good morning. Have you been here before, Mr.? Is this your first time? Mr. going once. I think.
Yeah.
Is this your first time here?
Absolutely.
Well, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. The show is unquestionably better with you or without you. What would you like? Pardon me. It's better with you. Yeah. What would you like to talk about?
I'm just here to listen.
You're just here to listen. You don't want to speak. Okay, no problem. Tell you what, we're going to give you a first-class escort down to the VIP, and you can listen all you want. And if and when you want to come back up, or if and when you want to talk, just let me know. And we are at the bottom of the hour. And let's see. There we go. Love that. Love my sound effects. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Ask the Atheist with the Mod Squad. If you're here for the first time, this is how the show works. We encourage everybody and anybody, especially the new speakers, to come on stage, get a fresh vibe, talk about whatever you want. You can talk about God, religion, current events, politics, you, me, the show, Clubhouse. Just, it doesn't matter if I agree with you or not, just have a take and don't suck. What does that mean? Well, you can come on up, get a fresh vibe, you can go on a narrative, or you can engage with me or my Mod Squad. I have compiled, I have put together, I have assembled the best Mod Squad in the history of Clubhouse, and there is no doubt, black and white, no gray, that my Mod Squad has a wide variety of knowledge and expertise. And with that, I think somebody new wants to come on up. I thought so, but they're not here yet, which is cool. Let's go to Alfonso. Alfonso, would you like to contribute at this time? Okay, he's probably busy with kids, children, family. Let's go to Violet. Violet, would you like to contribute at this time?
I did want to, am I correct that the song you played at the break was Hazy Shade of Winter by Simon and Garfunkel?
Yes.
Okay, Norm inquired about it in the chat, and
No.
I told him my guess, but I wanted to verify that. I haven't heard that one before.
Well, it's because of you I'm playing different music.
Brilliant.
Well, I loved it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Violet is the one that suggested like a month or two ago, Steve, play different music, please. And so I stopped playing the same old stuff, and I told her I wouldn't play the same song inside of a month. So, yes, Hazy Shade of Winter was written by Simon and Garfunkel, and then redone, arguably made more popular by the Bangles. Yes.
Steve,
Yeah, I'd
I'm
heard.
going to be away for an hour. So
All right.
I'll make back up.
You
Thank you.
you got it, Alfonso. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Violet.
I had heard the Bengals version of it.
Right.
But as familiar as I am with Simon and Garfunkel, I just missed that one, so I'm gonna add it to my playlist.
It's my pleasure. Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Let's go to Lynn. Lynn, would you like to contribute at this time, or are you good?
I'm enjoying the show, but my voice isn't good, so I'm going to just listen.
You got it. No problem. Let's see. Richard spoke. We can go back to Jeff. Jeff, would you like to comment, or are you good?
Well, I said I wasn't going to wade into Middle Eastern issues, but I guess I'll just.
Well, you can talk about anything you want, or nothing at all.
I'll just add on the Middle Eastern side that I've never been a Zionist myself, and I'd be interested in supporting charities that help Israelis immigrate to the U.S. So if anyone knows a good one, please let me know. Thank you very much.
Well, Norm would be all about that, but Norm would know all about that. So we'll get to him in a moment. He can talk about that. ODM, would you like to contribute, or are you good? ODM.
I'm good listening for now. I'm in my feelings, so I don't want to say anything too stupid. I gotta gather my thoughts and get you next time, man.
Yeah, no problem. Again, scratch piece of paper, pen or pencil. It helps. Believe me. Dave, end of days. Dave, would you like to contribute, or are you good?
I'm good right now. Thank you very much.
All right, so now we go back to El Normo. El Normo, you want to comment on that, or no, yes, maybe?
Yeah.
Sure.
There is a weird narrative from a group of terrorists called Black Hebrew Israelites. These are guys who were started. This group was started by a guy named William Crowley in North Carolina. And the idea is that the folks who were enslaved in America, American black folks who were enslaved in this country, brought here in chains and treated brutally somehow, are the real Jews or the real Israel, whatever nonsense they believe in. Every once in a while they come and attack the actual Jews. And I think it is a weird, delusional, psycho cult that has been called a terrorist group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. And I think it's based on a mental aberration. In other words, they read the Torah, which is, by the way, is there for all to read, and they see that the Jews were enslaved by Egypt and by the cruel pharaohs, and then got their liberation from God, and then went into the desert and were redeemed. And this story of redemption is open to everybody. And you don't have to sort of attack the actual Jews and pretend that you're the actual Jews in order to benefit from the story. Take it as a metaphor, take it as a lesson, take it as a biblical fountain of knowledge. Yes, your suffering is meaningful, my suffering is meaningful, everybody's suffering is meaningful, and you don't have to attack Jews or Israel in order for your suffering, which we acknowledge that is real. Your suffering is real. You don't have to pretend to be a Jew in order to be blessed by God or in order to enjoy the fruits of redemption. That's another one of my little
Norm,
ideas.
I've had a lot of conversations with the Black Hebrew Israelites on Clubhouse. Do you find that their agenda is primarily focusing on that they have a direct bloodline to the original 12 tribes, or are they really just anti-Semitic and they want the destruction of all Jews?
This is my theory on on the subject you raised. Like many groups in human history, Black folks in this country were treated abominably, and in order to heal this trauma, a certain cult has tried to embrace some fake identity, the identity of Jews or Israelites, in order to compensate for, or in order to heal their trauma. It is a dysfunctional response to trauma. The same way many people in prison today who have committed horrible crimes were themselves the victims of crime. So in this case, this subset called Black Hebrew Israelites, they were legitimately subject to discrimination and horrible treatment, but their response is to attack other people. And of course, that is unacceptable. That's my theory. It has nothing to do with Jews.
Because I find the only other people that they are attacking are Jews, which comprise barely 2% of the American population and barely 0.5% of the world's population. Why don't they go after the Nazis? Why don't they go after the ultra right Christians who make up 70% of the population? Why are they going after Jews? Or is it just to them it's an easy fix? I don't understand.
Well, Uncle Steve, they do go after other people. There is a very instructive.
Really?
Well, yeah, they dress up like Power Rangers in cheap robes of different colors.
They do not. Really?
They do. Yes.
They dress up like Power Rangers. Okay.
Yes, sir. With costume jewelry, and they stand on a street corner in Times Square and other places on cardboard boxes, yelling at the people who walk by, yelling at everybody who walks by.
Yeah.
They yell at black folks. They yell at white folks. They yell at Latino folks. Native American. They yell at everybody. They're just angry, violent, crazy death cultists.
Yeah. Amazing. If you're in the audience and want to come up, please do so. Let's go back to Shape. Shape, would you like to contribute, or are you good? I guess Shape is good. Okay. So let's continue on with our rundown. Let's see here. On May 22nd, the Supreme Court issued a 4-4 tie blocking the first taxpayer-funded religious charter school in Oklahoma, allowing a state court ruling that deemed it unconstitutional. Some people think a tie is just like a loss in the policy game days. The fight over funding faith-based schooling isn't going away quietly anytime soon. Trump's new religious nationalism gains ground. Reporting this month details a shift towards a nationalist political faith under President Trump, one that blends MAGA identity with religious symbolism, sidelining theological nuance in favor of cultural belonging. When cherry-picking doctrine meets flag-waving spectacles, you get faith-turned rhetorical weapons. It's church, surprisingly, even the pews. Reverend William Barber's moral movement pushes policy and prophetic prayer. Across America, the Poor People's Campaign, led by Reverend William Barber, continues its Moral Monday protests, connecting civil rights history with modern fights over health care, poverty, and budget cuts, framed through religious ethics and civic responsibility. Where protest signs meet Bible verses, faith definitely becomes social action. Barber says silence equals complicity, and these crowds don't plan to stay silent for very long. Jonas Brothers reflect on faith purity rings and media pressures. Nick and Joe Jonas recently opened up about the scrutiny they received to their to their teen years for wearing purity rings, being questioned about sex life and religion, and fearing they might be labeled part of a cult by reporters. When pop stardom meets religious expectation, every ring becomes a headline. Today they say the culture has eased, but the scars of image, remain. First female leader of Community of Christ installed in Missouri on June 1, Stacey Cram, C-R-A-M-M, was elected prophet president of the Community of Christ, becoming the first woman to lead the denomination headquartered in Independence, Missouri. And last but not least, Tabernacle Choir hits 5,000th broadcast amid religious service celebrations. America's Choir celebrated the 5,000th episode of Music and Spoken Word, one of the longest turning religious broadcasts in history, a milestone in faith and airtime. A cappella with staying power. Few things age better than choir robes and hymns, though the devotion hasn't faded at all. Some final thoughts, and then we'll go back to the room. From courtrooms protecting confessions to faith-inspired nonprofits challenging drug policy, from survey reveals on prayer in schools to protest movements rooted in moral faith, this month's religion headlines prove that in the United States, belief is far from private. It's public, messy, hopeful, and ever transformative. Let's see if anybody on stage would like to speak. Just raise your hand. If not, I'm going to play a short clip. If anybody in the audience, I didn't mean raise your hand, I mean unmute and say your first name. If anybody in the audience wants to come up, we welcome your questions, thoughts, or opinions. Nobody on stage is unmuting. So,
Violet, yes, I am.
Okay, Violet, thank you. Go, Violet.
Regarding the teaching of like Christian tenets in schools,
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose if your entire community is of that faith and it's something you want in your school, that would. But my problem with it is that even believers of Christianity don't agree on all the tenets of it. So how are they going to decide which tenets of Christianity would be taught in school?
If you teach one religion, you have to be ready, willing, and able to teach all of them. Otherwise, it's a violation of the Constitution.
Right.
Right. This is why I've been so opposed when it first started to posting the Ten Commandments. Once you post the Ten Commandments on a school wall, you're then required to post the part of the Quran. You have to post part of the Church of Satanism. There's 5,000 different religions minimum, and you can't just cherry pick the ones you want. Once you pick one, you have to be ready to put them all up on the wall. Go ahead, Violet.
Right, which is why, I mean, that should be done if you're going to do it, but I don't think it should be. That should be up to parental guidance and ways. I mean, separation of church and state. I'm very much for the separation of church and state.
Yeah, parental guidance, as long as it's parental guidance is not unconstitutional, then it has to stay in the home.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't think that we should deviate from the separation of church and state. That is going to be very problematic and not something we should do.
Completely agree. Richard, I think you were next, yes?
And I wanted to make a comment. There was a previous speaker whose comment in this room, I'm not going to say who it is, that said that they are the only one who was posting supportive information in the...
Yeah, and I called him a liar, and I heard you say you posted 4 links, yes?
Today, and hundreds over the time that I've been in this room. So that's complete misinformation, and I want to correct that. Thank you.
Thank you. And this is one of the reasons. Oh, did anybody else want to pop in at this time or no?
I'd like to comment on the.
Yes, please do. I'm sorry. First it was Jeff, and then who was next after Jeff, please? Someone else was
Shape actually spoke first. You can go.
No, go ahead. We're going to do this like gentlemen. No, I insist Jeff goes first.
I just had a very quick input, which is that this topic of religion in schools, I would be very much against. With one, the only thing that might be helpful would be something like comparative religion, but again, it's a slippery slope. But I do think that as atheists, supporting comparative religious studies, outside of public schools is an important thing to promote, because that can open people's eyes a lot more than just, debating with them or whatever. I found that my studies in comparative religion were very informative. Thanks very much.
Absolutely, and I'm assuming they were in college and not K through 12. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went to a Catholic university that required that we take 2 classes in theology, but they could be any classes, and they didn't have to do with Christianity, but the most common one was comparative religion, and it was a great class.
I agree with everything you said. Go ahead. Who's next?
Hey, I think that was me. Steve?
Hi. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so in Canada, the government, I don't know a ton about this, but the government funds both Catholic and public schools.
And 40 years ago also redid your Constitution to include God in the very first sentence.
Oh, I like that addition.
I'm just stating the facts.
Yes, that's why we're so friendly. I'm Orthodox, so I'm not Catholic, but I went to Catholic school. And I had Muslims that went to Catholic school. I think the system works if done right. I'm not saying it's perfect, but if we create the minimum bar as is it generally working? I think it works. I also took we didn't call it comparative religions, we called it world religions, and it was literally one of my favorite courses in high school. I absolutely loved it. It opened my eyes to a bunch of things. But generally speaking, well, let me speak for myself. Yes, there are differences between the various Christian denominations, but generally speaking, there's a common foundation that most parents will just will want to benefit from when sending their kids to school. They very rarely do parents, at least in my circles, send their kids to school to make sure they understand the nuances of the doctrine.
And what is that commonality?
A belief in a higher power.
Yeah.
The teachings of Jesus Christ, turn the other cheek, love, treat one another like you want to be treated.
How come I don't hear more of that in the Christian clubhouse rooms of the golden rule? Treat people like you want to be treated. Love thy neighbor and forgive them, for they know not what they do. Why do I hear a lot more screaming, yelling, and arguing about who's right and who's wrong rather than the former?
I agree with that observation. It's something that bewildered me for many months when I first joined Clubhouse, but I think I figured it out.
Oh, tell me!
Clubhouse attracts the polarities. The people that are in the median, that have the median opinion, they're maybe generally unlikely to mute and yell at somebody. So they'll just stay muted, or they'll just leave quietly. So I think that's kind of what's going on.
Let me expand on that very quickly. It is absolutely true that 85%, 90% of the people on Clubhouse just listen. The numbers day in and day out bear this out. 85% of the people minimum just listen. Also, there's an old saying that the minority yell the loudest. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's a fact. Please continue.
Yeah, I do. I did try and fight back, quote unquote, when I heard some of these Christians. In fact, some of them are the most anti-Semitic I've ever encountered in my life. And having grown up in the Middle East, I've seen a lot of anti-Semitism. But there's a level of anti-Semitism in some pockets of these extreme Christian rooms on Clubhouse that just completely shocked me. So
Every once in a while, there's a quote from the movie Boondock Saints. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't even heard of it.
Oh my goodness, Steve!
I have not
give
heard
you
of it.
this gift. It's called Boondock Saints.
Uh-huh.
You must watch it immediately, preferably with a couple of beers in your system.
All right, Netflix? No.
I don't know if it's on
HBO?
Netflix.
Prime?
I don't know where it's playing, but it's.
All right.
Don't watch the sequel. Watch the first one, Boondock Saints.
All right,
It's a wonderful
cool.
movie. Anyway, it starts off with the priest saying something like, "It's not the actions of wicked men we need to be worried about, but the indifference of good men." It's one of my favorite. I butchered the quote a little bit, but it's one of my favorite
It's all right.
things. Anyway, I yield. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you. And you mentioned an interesting word, polarity. And where we have polarity in government, we have polarity in the world, we have polarity in religion. A great place to find polarity is in sports. Check it out.
I'd like to talk a little bit about baseball and football. Starting with baseball. Baseball is different from any other sport in a lot of different little ways. For instance, in most sports, you score points or you score goals. In baseball, you score runs. In most sports, the ball or the object is put in play by the offensive team. In baseball, the defense puts the ball in play, and only the defensive team is allowed to touch the ball. In fact, in baseball, if an offensive player touches the ball intentionally, he's out. Also, most sports, the team is run by a coach. In baseball, the team is run by a manager. And only in baseball does the manager or the coach have to wear the same uniform the players do. Can you picture Bill Parcells in his New York Giants uniform? Now, baseball and football are different from one another in other kind of interesting ways, I think. First of all, baseball is a 19th century pastoral game. Football is a 20th century technological struggle. Baseball is played on a diamond, in a park, the baseball park. Football is played on a gridiron in a stadium, sometimes called Soldier Field or War Memorial Stadium. Baseball begins in the spring, the season of new life. Football begins in the fall when everything is dying. In football, you wear a helmet. In baseball, you wear a cap. Football is concerned with downs. What down is it? Baseball is concerned with ups. Who's up? Are you up? I'm not up. He's up. In football, the specialist comes in to kick. In baseball, the specialist comes in to relieve someone. In football, you receive a penalty. In baseball, you make an error. Whoops. Football has hitting, clipping, spearing, blocking, piling on, late hitting, unnecessary roughness, and personal fouls. Baseball has the sacrifice. Football is played in any kind of weather. Rain, sleet, snow, hail, mud. Can't read the numbers on the field, can't read the yard markers, can't read the players' numbers. The struggle will continue. In baseball, if it rains, we don't come out to play. I can't come out to play. It's raining out. Baseball has a seventh inning stretch. Football has the 2-minute warning. Baseball has no time limit. We don't know when it's going to end. We might have extra innings. Football is rigidly timed, and it will end even if we have to go to sudden death. In baseball, during the game in the stands, there's kind of a picnic feeling. Emotions may run high or low, but there's not that much unpleasantness. In football, in the stands during the game, you can be sure that at least 27 times you were perfectly capable of taking the life of a fellow human being. Preferably a stranger. And And finally, the objectives of the two games are totally different. In football, the object is for the quarterback, otherwise known as the field general, to be on target with his aerial assault, riddling the defense by hitting his receivers with deadly accuracy, in spite of the blitz, even if he has to use the shotgun. With short bullet passes and long bombs, he marches his troops into enemy territory, balancing this aerial assault with a sustained ground attack which punches holes in the forward wall of the enemy's defensive line. In baseball, the object is to go home and to be safe. I hope I'll be safe at home.
Polarities in sports. If anybody in the audience wants to come on up and talk about that, God, religion, current events, politics, the show, you, me, just raise your hand. And we're coming up on the top of the hour, so it's time for our break. This is always a good time to come on up. 2 hours in the tank, and 1 hour left. And don't go away, and we should be right back.
Was quizzical, studied metaphysical science in the home. Late nights all alone with a test tube. Maxwell.
Fire. nurtured every sensation man has been inspired to have. I cared about what he wanted, and I never judged him. Why? Because I never rejected him. In spite of all his imperfections, I'm a fan of man. I'm a humanist. Maybe the last humanist. Who in their right mind, Kevin, could possibly deny the 20th century was entirely mine? All of it, Kevin! All of it. Mine. I'm peaking, Kevin. It's my time now.
Speaking about influence, Americans' views on who influences health policy and which health issues prioritize. Over 70% of Americans say health insurance companies have way too much health policy influence. Partisan disagreements about the CDC's role in health policies. Americans are in the midst of ongoing discussion and debate about which health issues are most pressing and who should play a role in addressing them. According to a new Pew Research Center survey, that's our gold standard, a solid majority of United States adults, 70%, say health insurance companies have way too much influence on public debate about health policy. Of the 8 groups and institutions that Pew asked about this survey, such as Congress, the general public, and federal courts, health insurance companies are the one that a majority of Americans agree have way too much sway in health policy. Just 9% say they have about the right amount of influence, and an equal share say they don't have enough. Wow. Although politics and health policy are often deeply entangled, this dim opinion of health insurance companies' influence is an area of notable partisan agreement. Roughly equal shares of Democrats, including those who lean to the Democratic Party, and Republicans and GOP leaners, both express this view. Similarly, shares of Democrats and Republicans also say Congress has too much influence on health policy, although this view is less widely held than it is for health insurance companies. You gotta look long and hard these days, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to find issues that both Democrats and Republicans agree on. It's a tough job, but somebody's gotta do it. And if you're in the audience, welcome to another edition of Ask the Atheist with the Mod Squad. 2 hours in the tank, 1 left. If you want to come on stage and talk about whatever you want, now is a good time, because as it gets closer to the top of the hour, it's going to become more difficult, if not impossible. Let's welcome Cora to the stage. Cora, thanks for doing the heavy lifting. Are you still kind of on that first cup of coffee, or did you want to contribute anything?
I'm still working on it.
You got it. Well, good morning, and thank you for coming on in. Let's say hello to Dr. James. Dr. James, good morning. Thank you for doing the heavy lifting and coming on in.
Yes, I slept in today, and I've done 0 heavy lifting at this point, but yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Good morning.
You are welcome. It was a pleasure to speak to you, albeit briefly, yesterday.
Yeah.
And yes, and I'm glad everything is going good for you. I haven't mentioned it. I won't mention it. I'll leave that to you.
Okay, I'll mention it. I passed my EPPP yesterday. I passed my part 1 of my licensing exam. Now I've got just the ethics and law exam to schedule in the next 4 weeks, and then I can get licensed to practice psychology independently instead of working under someone's shingle for all these years. So yeah, this was
something, and one specific thing that Uncle Steve said a couple of weeks ago to help you, indeed help you. What was that?
Yes, I'll tell you, it was writing with my own hands rather than simply reading off of other people's writing, but putting it into my own penmanship really turbocharged a lot of my studying over the last month. So or actually last couple of weeks, I would say, really was helpful, getting a lot of new stuff into my brain. And for this next ethics and law exam, I'm going to start studying for that right out the gate, just writing everything down that I want, my own penmanship, and doing all my own diagrams. And I'm hopeful that I'll be able to pass that thing in the next 3 to 4 weeks if they let me schedule it right away. So, fuck yes, man. I am like, you have no idea how relieved I am. 2 years of studying for this stupid exam. I thought I was never going to pass it. My marriage was on the rocks. Like, everything was on the line. And I went into that exam yesterday feeling like, you know what? I'm probably not going to pass it. I'll just reschedule it again. I put on my favorite T-shirt that I made of my little dog Osiris. It's got Osiris on it, and my other Scotty Muda, who actually passed. It's a very cute image, and you know, I had them by my heart because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna need you guys when I fail this fucker. Pardon my language. I mean, this is a Jersey James coming out full on right now. But yeah, no, I am so happy. I'm so relieved. And I really appreciate I appreciate all of the, you know, my friends that I've made on Clubhouse who have just been with me along the way on this fucked up journey. It's just, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I'm very relieved. Thank you for mentioning it.
And I wasn't sure if you wanted me to, so congratulations. Let's say hello to Sam, who is our clubhouse scientist and occasionally practices law. Sam, good morning. Thank you for doing the heavy lifting.
Good morning, everyone. I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting by spewing sass in the chat for the past hour.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for your soda.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Now I'm here on stage to spew sass in person. Dr. James, again, congrats. When you said it, you took me back 25 years ago when I passed the bar, and Debbie and I just, went out for dinner and celebration and all that. So I was reliving that moment all day yesterday. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh, I got so sauced with my wife yesterday. We both started doing tequila shots within an hour of me getting home. It was just like, we never drink, and we were just by mid-afternoon, we were in our garden hanging out, feeling really sassy.
And let's say hello to John Malincrot, who is our retired professor of physics. John, thank you for coming on in and doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah, are you getting me?
Yeah.
I'm coming to you via Starlink from deep in the Mendocino woods. We've never had internet access here before.
Wow.
So this is kind of an experiment. I won't be here long, but I did want to say hi. And congratulations, Dr. James.
Thank you. Hey, John, is it fair to say that we were speaking to you through a satellite that is flying in a spherical shape around the Earth?
Elliptical would be the only correction I would make to that.
You said that it's traveling on a flat plane until it falls off the edge and then goes around.
That's right.
I believe when elliptical becomes three-dimensional, you call it ovoid. So it's not elliptical.
Yeah, but it's not. But the orbit is elliptical.
Yeah, the orbit's going to be an ellipse because it's hollow. It's just
Right, but Starlink, basically, we have
oh, that's true.
coverage by Starlink than the ozone layer. So the entirety of Starlink is ovoid.
I thought they just fall off the other side and they have to keep making new ones. I thought that's why they make so many, is they just keep falling off the other side.
Oh, you're right.
It's like a spell.
You launch a Starlink, it goes to the edge of the Earth, falls off, and they have to launch more. That's why they're constantly launching new ones.
That's right.
Okay, well, that definitely added some content to the show. If anybody wants to comment on that, we encourage you to come on stage, talk about that, or anything you want. Would anybody else, like on stage, like to contribute anything? Just mute
that
and
was
say,
free advertising for higher education, because there were 3 PhDs on the stage having that conversation. So if you go to the university and get a PhD, you too can join that conversation.
Oh, how about that? So let's see here. I'm trying to bring up something else to talk about, and I hope I don't mess this up. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. I think I got it. At the end of, no, that's not where we start out. More than 2/3 of United States adults identify with a religion, whether Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, or something else. That's a high number compared with some other wealthy, economically advanced countries. For example, just 46% of adults in the Netherlands and 44% of adults in Japan claim any religious identity at all. But when we look at all 36 countries, and by the way, there are 209 countries around the world, but Pew Research, our gold standard, was able to actually interview people in 36 countries. Quite a few have large percentages of people who say they have a religion. This includes places like Indonesia and Israel, where almost all adults identify with a religion. In many countries, even places where nearly all adults say they have a religion, not everyone believes in life after death. In Israel, one of the countries with nearly universal religious affiliation, just 61% say there is definitely or probably life after death. In the United States, 7 in 10 adults think there is definitely or probably an afterlife, which puts the United States in the top third of countries surveyed on this question. Across Europe, people are far less likely to believe in life after death. For example, 38% of Swedish adults express belief in an afterlife. Nearly half of United States adults, meanwhile, say they believe that parts of nature, such as mountains, rivers, or trees, can have their own spirits or spiritual entities. Solid majorities in India and Peru also hold this view, but only about 3 in 10 people, 30% surveyed in Poland, say parts of nature can have spirits. When it comes to rates of daily prayer, the United States is roughly in the middle of the 35 countries surveyed. I thought it was 36, whatever. Yet the United States stands out among high-income countries on this question. Generally speaking, relatively few adults in wealthy countries such as Japan and France say they pray daily. We got 45 minutes left till the show ends. If you're in the audience and want to come up, you can absolutely have a fresh 5. Yes, go ahead.
Thee I invoke. Thou whose head
I don't need
is
it,
as
dude.
an
I don't
emerald,
need it. Huh.
and thy nemesis as the
I'm
night
selling
sky
it.
blue.
I'm selling it and walking
Thee I
away.
invoke. Thou whose skin is of
I'm
flaming
selling it.
orange as though it
I
burned in a
don't need it
furnace.
anymore.
Thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who company the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of wrong, ever advancing onwards to the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein the star floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I raise up flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Kethra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is a sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of the Ptah when he created his works. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. So, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth hath ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto thee, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the vast one may be obedient unto me. expression of faith. Procul, o procul esti profani, on lasti, on peda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou, majesty of the Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of light and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemesis as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are strong, which is as light unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who company the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of wrong, ever advancing onwards the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein the star floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I raise up flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Kefra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tanu, Lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is a sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of the Ptah when he created his works. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. Thoth, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all dressed in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth hath ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto thee, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of rolling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the vast one may be obedient unto thee. Invocation of folks. Procul, O procul esti profani, on lusty, on peda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou, majesty of the Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of life and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemes as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is a flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as light unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who company the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of bronze, ever advancing onwards to the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which stands in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein the car floats over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I raise a flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Petra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, Lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of the tower when he created his works. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. So, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth hath ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto thee, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of the whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God's advanced one may be obedient unto thee.
It's up to the bar. Yeah, but I'm done. Up to the bar, but I'm done giving purchase 6 anymore, man. Bye, Bo. Bye, Bo.
Invocation of folk. Procul, o procul esti profani, on lasti, on pedon. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of the Godhead,
Hey guys, Mark Rockford from Congress here with Queen Elizabeth. We're going to take this country back, take this country back.
Thee I invoke. O thou of the ivy's head, thee I invoke.
Abdul Bar,
Thou
I'm
who
done giving
wieldest
purchase
the
6
wand of
anymore,
double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of life and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy lemons as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who company the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of wrong, ever advancing onwards the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein the star floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I weigh that flashing flame with the lighting of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified law, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Hephra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of the Ptah when he created his work. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. Zeus, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth has ever nourished the changeless guardian of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto thee, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, on the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the vast one may be obedient unto thee.
Too expensive. Too expensive for beach.
procul, o procul esti profani, on lasti, on peda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitation. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou, majesty of the Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of life and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemesis as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are strong, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who company the beard of the house of rest, who pilot the ship of God, ever advancing onwards to the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein the star floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I raise a flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Ra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, Lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is a sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as the Lord's power when he created his work. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. So, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath warmed thee in its bosom, and earth has ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto thee, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of the word the air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the vast one may be obedient unto thee. Invocation of folks. Procul, o procul esti profani, on lasti, on peda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of the Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of light and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemes as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who accompany the biers of the house of rest, pilot the ship of God, ever advancing onwards to the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein the star floats over the pearl. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I wait a flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Petra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is a sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of the tar when he created his work. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs.
There's a trailer supposedly for this boat in Milwaukee.
Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. Stars, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all dressed in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth has ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto thee, so that every spirit of the firmament of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of burning air and of a flashing fire, and every spell and scourge of God's vast one may be obedient unto me.
Gas, nose, windshield fan, rotator. I'm not a, let's see here. I'm going to set us on some returns for spending 3K total and put some money person C load in the boat. There's a trailer supposedly has boat mode.
Invocation of folk. Procul, O procul esti profani, on lusty, on peda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou, majesty of the Godhead, wisdom crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of light and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemes as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee, I am. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as light unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who company the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of wrong, ever advancing onwards to the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which stands in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein the path floats over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I wait that flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Petra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is a sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes of the Tower when he created his work. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. So, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind has formed thee in its bosom, and earth has ever nourished the chambers guardian of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto thee, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of the burning air and of the rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the vast one may be obedient unto thee.
And then just and work illegally.
You know, I would recommend that. But I was in
house for 2 years, no home, and forgiveness.
About 100%.
Yeah. I'm asking you a question. You have to shut up so I can answer. So I can let you. So I can ask it so you can answer. My question is, what do you think of that? Did you even see the video up above? And if so, what did you think about it?
It was fucked up that he got jumped. But what was the reason he got jumped?
He said the N-word.
No, that's what Earpiece said. That's what Earpiece said. I didn't see it.
Right? So they're reacting violently, right?
Earpiece was up here. She's the one who made that claim. I think she was just making it up.
People that react to words.
That's like the same story about the white woman. Remember, that supposedly she said the N-word. What's her name? Shiloh. We don't know if she actually did. It was just that they're having
No, she said it on video.
Wait, she said it on video?
Yeah, there's a video of her saying it loud and proud.
Oh, I thought there was another thing where she. Yeah, okay, maybe you're right on that one. I don't know.
Who cares?
Well, let me ask the room a question. Just put a 1 if yes, 2 if no. But if I refer to every one of those pieces of shit in the video that attacked that white couple, a bunch of dirty, filthy, violent niggers, is that insulting? And am I being wrong for doing that?
What color is the monkey?
Put 2 if it's no. I didn't. Hey, let me finish.
What color is that monkey? It's white.
Amazing. Shake your watermelon suckers, faggot.
Wonderful. Fantastic. 4. Look at the shaved monkey here. Color of their skin. You ever seen a monkey's lips?
It's not because black people.
Where's the energy gone?
You guys
What happened? There was
Can you
so
hear me?
hype and you know,
Check. All right, check.
excited to say nigger.
Yeah,
What
let's
happened?
wait, I want to see how long it takes
See a
to
white
get
monkey.
to respond.
Now you're quiet. What's going on?
Brandon.
Wow, that's racist, Brandon.
Wait, Brandon, I'm just checking it. Is my microphone coming through on Brandon's phone?
He doesn't have a phone.
I'd like to know if Brandon can hear. Oh, Brandon's on the phone. Okay. Brandon sounds pretty low IQ. I think that you guys should check your IQ, take an IQ test, and if your IQ is high.
Do you know who created the IQ test?
I'm in the middle of a sentence, sir.
Just trying to correct you.
Don't say the J word.
How did I say anything incorrect?
Just go ahead, my friend.
What do you correct?
Guys, shut up. Everybody, let him finish.
Yeah,
I have a question.
I'll let him finish first.
He's a trash bag. He's not saying anything.
Oh, hold on.
I'm a person. I'm using Clubhouse. I'm a Clubhouse user. I'm a human being. I'm not a trash bag. Just because I changed my name back to trash bag, I'm not literally a trash bag, okay?
Okay.
I'm not literally a talking trash bag. I'm just saying, Pepe, Mr. Anderson, Matt, David, if you take an IQ test, take one, it's fun. I recently took it, I got a high IQ. What did you get? I got 130. I got 130.
Well, I got it higher than
Sorry, that's very surprising, but impressive. And if you actually got higher than me, that's cool.
You did not get 134.
PTR the proof, bitch. I got a screenshot.
All right, guys, let's not fight over it.
PTR the proof.
Yeah, let's not fight over it now.
All right.
But in a time of war, people die. People die. In Hiroshima,
Right, so why are we focusing on the political people die? That's what you're saying, right?
right. What I'm saying is people die in a war. People die. Now, there is a chance that this could all stop, but they don't want to stop.
Who's they?
Hamas.
And Smotrich and Ben Gvir want to stop?
Sorry?
Do Ben Gvir and Smotrich want to stop?
Want to stop what?
Well, you said Hamas don't want to stop. Whatever Hamas don't want to stop, you Ben Gvir and Smotrich want to stop. Now, you have to
Just
prove that
Just want to rename.
well, undeniably, they're in his cabinet, one of the most influential members of the cabinet. Yeah,
But they were willing to. Oh, sorry about that. They were willing to literally get rid of everything if they released the hostages.
Right, well, that's just context. I mean, we know the true nature of Ben Gvir and Smotrich. They're convicted terrorists, or they were charged in terrorist. So I mean, forgive me for thinking that they're gonna have to show some intention, you know? That's just the way things work, right?
So now we're in an impasse. Okay, so you're distrustful of one side, other people are distrustful of the other side. So this is what happens. This is what happens with them. They won't let it go. They won't stop. They want to carry it on. Why? What are you going to win?
So is it men's fault now, or where are we going back to George's argument?
Well, we could go back to George's argument. Why can't we move past this?
I'll tell you what. There's an unwillingness to accept, because the general consensus is that Hamas are, they've been prescribed as terrorist organization. I'm willing to accept that. I'll say, okay, fine. But there isn't a willingness to accept that there are members of the Knesset that do not have the purest of intentions, at least for the people on the other side. But this is something that people are not willing to dive into. And this is the truth. This is the truth of it. Look at Ben Gvir, look at Smotrich.
I agree with you, Aziz, I agree with you, but the whole state of Israel is not to be blamed for some radicalized Jewish people or radicalized Muslims. Okay, it shouldn't happen, but it is. It is happening.
You're justifying the deaths of those innocent.
I'm not justifying any deaths. I think death is horrible.
No, you are. You said you
You're justifying the deaths that happened on October 7th. You are though. Because now I'm going to use your straw man right back at you.
Well, I haven't done that though.
But you have. I'm making the argument justifying death. I'm literally saying that in times of war, people die.
Right, that's very, we accept that, but how
Yeah.
Why are we
Stop the war. Stop the war. That's how we get that.
Right, through diplomacy, right? We have to just use military aggression. Is there no other way?
No, I think Muslims, specifically radicalized Muslims like Hamas, need to realize that this world isn't theirs, and we can share it.
So what do the radical Jews need to realize?
Well, exactly the same thing.
But you haven't said that.
But Lovey, on October the 7th, it wasn't the radicalized Jews that did anything. It was the radicalized Muslims.
Why one specific day?
And the reason why I'm talking about one specific day, because that was the pinnacle of what this whole thing is about.
Well, in your mind, yeah, from your lens, of course.
Okay, so what is this all about? What is this all about? A small group of people who don't like the fact that they have to share a land land with other people. Therefore, they removed themselves from that land and now are chanting from the river to the sea, you know, because they want the eradication of Israel.
They didn't have a choice about sharing. There was no sharing. Sharing wasn't an option for the 750,000 people.
Are you serious, Aziz? There
Hilarious.
are Israeli Arabs who were Palestinians that live in Israel, have the same rights, go and worship in their mosques. They serve in the IDF. They serve as teachers. They're integrated. They're happy that Israel exists. The thing is, if you don't like a regime, you don't wage war against it. You leave it alone.
Right, but I think we're ignoring some of...
No, I think that what you're doing is saying it's okay for Hamas to do what they're doing, but it's not okay for Israel to respond to what they're doing. That's what you're... Yeah,
No, that's what you're saying is it's okay for the IDF, it's not okay for Hamas. You are justifying one side, I'm not justifying anything.
If someone came to kill you, Aziz, right now, they burst in your door, they've got a gun, right?
Would I kill their family?
No,
That's
would you kill
one
them? Would you kill them? Would you kill them?
Saying that it's totally wrong. Anyway, he said he's not confirming what happened on the 7th.
Well, he is.
He said that Israel have got every right to defend themselves. 110%. He said that. But what he's saying is there was a cataclysm of events that led up to the 7th. It wasn't just one day they woke up and
there wasn't.
It could have been avoided, and the IDF and the Mossad had already, it's documented and it's out there, freely admitted that they had information that they didn't act upon. So it's not like it was an event that just just happened.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Months and months and months.
Scotty, let me ask you a question, right? Let's talk about the KKK, right? They're a terroristic organisation, correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay, absolutely they are. Now, should they be given the same privileges as everybody else when it comes to causing, death or killing people? Should we just let them get on with it because, it's their land?
What do you mean?
No, so all of this thing of all this stuff that's leading up to October the 7th, right? It's nonsense because Israel is diverse. Okay, it's a diverse place. It's more so secular than it should be really. But anyway, why then do I hear people saying that Israel doesn't deserve to be there, that everyone needs to leave and give the land back to the Palestinians, when the Palestinians that live in Israel want Israel to stay there? Who the fuck is anyone to tell anyone what to do?
Absolutely, you're right there. But I can tell you this, it's not the Jewish people, it's not yourselves, it's not the people that live in Israel and integrate Israel with the Palestinians, our Palestinian friends that live there. That's totally, you're 100% right. What it is the government that they're in at the time, which we have not improved over the last, 15 years, have been the same thinking and not changed one bit, doesn't look at other views, and they have been nothing but warmongers. It's a fact. Shoot first, ask later. Instead of sitting down and knock you on out because you are right in everything you say. Not everything, there's two sides to every
single time Israel doesn't wage war. It doesn't wage war, it defends itself against war. Every single country that has attacked Israel has done so because of a religious motivation. People say, no, it's not religion, it's political. Is it fuck? It's all about religion. Now, am I saying that Israel has clean hands? Hang on, I'm finished. Am I saying that Israel... By saying that Israel has clean hands, absolutely not. And I'm sure within the IDF there are some sick, twisted people that need dealing with, okay? Absolutely 100%. I agree that there are people who are bad people that work alongside people that just want to do good. Absolutely agree.
Yeah, did some nice sucker punches in the video.
I didn't see the video. What's the
You haven't seen the video.
The video is part of it.
What's fucking video? I'm not explaining it to you.
Oh my god. Alright, I'll check it out.
Just in Chicago. I haven't been. I'm guessing in Chicago.
Oh, white man.
Fucking Lady Hawk. Boom.
However, it doesn't show what caused the outrage. What caused the outrage.
So I just looked at the video and apparently...
One day people forget everybody could ever be like, this is a lot of food, but the dope is a whole...
guy with the white shirt, he said he called them an N-word and he called them a nigger. So maybe it has. I just looked at the video. Wow, I just looked at the video.
Okay, gotta go to the audience. Sorry. So fucking disruptive. So what, Black?
I just said I watched the video, however, it doesn't show what caused the outrage. So what happened?
Well, they didn't say there was no news on that. So I guess my question would be, what is it? What do you think would invite that?
Yeah, I mean, basically, that's what.
Yeah, unless there was like physical confrontation, like there's not just litigation for hitting somebody.
So I think that's what's so appalling, and that I don't want to speak for anybody else in this room, but when we see that, are you on? Are you? I was just confused if you were talking about. But my point is, what's appalling about videos like this, and what was appalling about the Carmelo Anthony and the Austin Metcalf situation, it's a running theme, which is, I don't want to speak for the white community here, but from my personal perspective, it seems like there's a level of violence, and then there's a fucking overkill. And a lot of the stuff that we're seeing seems like overkill. And I don't know, your piece, the Clubhouse user whose name is Your Piece was in here earlier, and she said that the white man used the N-word, and that's why he was being beaten up by this mob of people. But when I watch the video, and I see this guy getting stomped the fuck out by multiple people, I mean, what I want to see in that mob who's running up and he's like, yo, he's good. Don't stomp him out anymore. He's good. Like, we got him. But there's nobody in that crowd who's like, yo, chill. They're all like, yeah, get him. Like, many people run from the sidelines to go and, like, give a kick or something. And that, I think, is really disturbing.
I mean, Black, do you think, let's just say he did call them the N-word, hard ER, would that justify what they did?
No, not really. However,
not really. It's a solid no. She said no.
I'm not gonna.
Let her cook.
Oh God. However, I'm not gonna allow somebody to call me that and just walk away. You're gonna get told something.
You couldn't walk away.
You're allowed to say something. I'm talking about trying to head stomp people and sucker punching a woman and knocking her unconscious on the
No,
ground.
You can say like your mother is the W word. I mean, and then you can say all these insults and you can walk away. Yeah.
W word.
Nobody's saying you can't be insulted.
Yeah, we got the saying that it was probably overboard. Main man got jumped. If they called one black man a nigger and everybody else, and only that one black person or a black couple responded, okay, it would have been a private fair fight. But they got jumped. But it's a very, excessive consequence. But that's just what it is. Is every black
So So that's why you monkeys end up in prison in disproportionate rates. You guys really don't know how to
Look
behave.
how I'm able to engage
I'm a
with
monkey, so
people
let's
that are
not lie.
obviously insecure of black people.
I'm a human being.
I'm not insecure. I'm not on parole. I don't have a violent felony. I don't have a hard time getting a job or a place to live because I'm a
What
violent
I'm saying
fucking
is,
like you.
you're calling people niggers for no reason. Based
No,
on
yeah, if you support this
Yeah,
behavior,
correct.
if you support this behavior, hold on, my friend. If you support this behavior, then you are in fact a filthy, violent fucking nigger. That's what you are.
White people group? Like, do we have to fight this?
I don't.
Nobody's standing up for violent white people, but you guys are standing up for violent black people. Let's talk about that.
But let's be real here. You people lynch people, took pictures, laughed,
Do shit.
watched it like a theater, and now since somebody here is violent with the
So that's the excuse.
What
Now that's an excuse to violate. That's an excuse to violently assault somebody. It's, you know,
No,
fucking
it's not.
century or two later.
But
Okay.
something like
Retaliation.
Can I be
That's like saying like your great grandfather did something bad, so like I need to punish you. That's
no, it's not cool. No, no, no. No, it's not.
Lynching is still going on to this day. They just not recently,
I
haven't seen it.
made it
So take it to
illegal.
the top.
Why is lynching just becoming illegal? What's going on here?
That doesn't matter. There's a lot of weird rules in our books in different states. Just because they made it illegal doesn't mean it's happening.
Okay, so can you find or even imagine, a video on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube? Can you find a video or even imagine a video of a random white group of drinkers at a bar beating the fuck out of a black man and woman? Can you find or even imagine such a video?
Probably not.
Why is that a thing?
Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but most likely won't find it because, you know, black people are the most protected race of human beings on this earth when it comes to anything racially unjust. So we're not going to find stuff like that because white people won't openly do that anymore because they know the backlash they will get. So.
But why isn't there a backlash when black people openly do that?
Because you guys are not standing up for yourself. You're letting it happen and you don't
That's a terrible excuse. That's a terrible way to
Wait a minute. Can I clarify my understanding of this?
Let Brandy finish, guys. Let Brandy terrible. Let Brandy finish.
I'm not judging. I'm respecting.
My friend, let her finish.
It's the truth. So when things like this happen, just like storming the Capitol, white people can get up, protest, go to
There was
their.
black people also in January.
Okay. Well, we're talking about like, so when something happens to you, your people, protest. Go burn down your own neighborhood like we do. Go, no justice, no peace. Go find a white Al Sharpton. Come and be in the front lines to get white justice.
Can I ask a question? You're saying,
terrible way of thinking.
Wait, David, that's a lot of judgment. Can I ask a question? Are you saying that when we see a video of a random white couple being beat up by a random black mob, that we should respond to that by burning shit down in our neighborhood?
Hey, it worked for us, right? You just asked questions.
Did it work? Did it work?
Hold on. You just said why.
But wait, that's what she said, Sig. I see you putting your face in your hands, but.
Hold on.
That is what she said.
Why haven't we seen any videos of a group of white people beating up a black couple, right? And I said because white people are afraid to do certain things because of the backlash.
Oh, so clarifying question. Are you saying that instead of burning shit down, you're saying that when we see a video of a white couple being beat up by a black mob, are you saying that in response to that we should go find black people and beat them up?
No, what I'm saying is, you said, why haven't you seen that video? I'm saying because white people, I'm not saying that you guys are not don't do these things. No.
Wow. Okay, Randy, I'm gonna stop you there. Okay, look, hold on. The problem is, though, Randy, no, the thing is, though, you're saying, why don't we react? Hold on, David. You're saying, like, why don't we go do criminal activity, fuck up cop cars, throw bricks at the cops, start doing some looting, start burning our own fucking businesses and homes? I'm sorry, that's low IQ behavior too. I mean,
I know that. I'm not, hold on. I'm not saying that it's not low IQ.
But if you know it's wrong, then why are you condoning it?
I'll interrupt you.
I'm not saying that it's not low IQ. I'm not saying it is the right thing. It is the ignorant thing to do. With ignorant actions, for some reason, get a response. Right? He asked, why haven't we seen those type of videos of white people doing that to black people? Because white people are afraid to say or do anything.
Well, can I respond to that?
They will get.
Hang on. Let's have a little back and forth here. Slow down, if you can.
No, I wasn't done.
Well, you kind of are done. You're just.
Well, just let her finish.
So she's extrapolating on a point that she.
Yeah, you just keep interrupting.
So this is the thing about being a high IQ is like I can follow.
Okay, but hold on, my friend, hold on. Just try to wrap it up, Brandy, and then
I'm done.
my friend can.
He can go.
Right. Well, what you're saying is the reason we don't see the videos of white people beating up black people is
Holy
white people are
shit.
afraid to do certain things. Is that what you're saying?
Damn.
Yes, she said they're.
That's what she said, right? The reason we don't see the. But let me put it this way: I am afraid to rob a bank. I mean, there's moral reasons to not rob a bank. Sure, you don't want to steal. You know, it's wrong to rob. But also, one of the reasons to not rob a bank is I would be afraid of getting arrested. I would also not want to rob a bank. But like, for example, there are plenty of people I want to punch in the face. I mean, there are moral reasons to not want to punch somebody in the
I
face.
needed to confirm my status as daddy.
Rageful impulse. But one of the main reasons to not punch people in the face is because assault is illegal. But that's what I'm saying. But why are the black people not afraid of getting arrested for assault in the same way that I am?
Don't you know that how those dumb people acted in the streets is the same way that dumb people are acting here on Clown House? It's the same stupidity being repeated here.
To the entire black community. Why are we doing this? Should I find a video of a white group?
Well, we saw it during the summer of love. We saw what happened during the summer of love.
Okay, find a group of white men. Okay, find a group of white men. Okay, men and women like that. Okay, they're out in the middle of what looks like a downtown area where they're head stomping and they're punching out. Hold on, my friend. And where they're assaulting a black couple like that. I don't think you'll be able to find one, but you might. But that's how rare it is.
Ebbe, real quick context. It's a jazz festival. This is supposed to be a good time, by the way. This is just walking down the streets, really. This is actual at an event, or at least coming away from an event. But, this is supposed to be jazz, supposed to be fun. Like, how do you end up on the ground, like that? It's just,
The moment you look away is when you get punched in the face.
Maybe we shouldn't have been using the N-word.
Yeah. But we don't know that they use the N-word.
Yeah, I really don't know. The video is not really clear on what happened, so I can't really say anything.
Okay, I can understand if, like, there was a black woman, like, I don't know, holding a toddler, and then the white woman, or the white man ended up spitting on it and then, like, pushing it out of her arms or something. Like, I can picture scenarios why you would have such a violent backlash, but an exchange of words is not an excuse to do that kind of a vicious assault. It's just not.
I'm sorry, a lot of white people are violent by nature. I'm sorry.
By nature?
What are you talking about?
That's true. That's a good point.
You just encouraged white people to be violent. You're violent, Brandy.
Let me just restructure the context. So that was a white man.
How are white people violent by nature?
Shut up.
Look at our history, cool.
Shut up. Okay.
Matt, take the microphone and put it into your mouth. Make sure that you get some breathy volume when you're speaking. Put the microphone inside of
You
your
guys
mouth.
are so obnoxious. Everybody just shut the fuck up while Matt's talking.
Hold on. I'm just gonna redo the hypothetical. So let's say this bald guy did use the N-word. Does that justify a mob response though? Why can't it be a one-on-one fight or a different response? Why are the women fighting? Like, does anybody have an answer to that? Like, why
no real consequences, and y'all won't let me say it because for some reason it's so shocking. But that we already know. When it's black on black, black on white, there's really no real consequences as a racial thing for black people anymore. We can televise it. We can call you Frank. We can do all type of shit. Get your jobs in. We have the upper hand in the racial issue. Now, it's like I'm sorry, like not pull them over. It's different because the authority shift, right? White power is the authority figure. So we have more power. But when it's a random white couple and a bunch of black people walking down the street, case in point, the Vogue situation that happened last year, black people were afraid of fighting and busting up these people's asses. There was no real, the white people ended up getting arrested.
But there's no upside.
So what I'm saying is now society, black people, that whole Black Lives Matter was like a handicap. It was like a crutch for black people. It was like to say there's something wrong with us and everybody has to love us. We're kind of like on the spectrum, like we're kind of retarded a little bit. So yeah, they can act a little crazy and wild. We're not going to do much of them because of slavery or because of oppression. So we do get away with a lot more. I'm not saying that we don't have, things that we face like oppression and stuff like that, but we do get away with a lot more shit when it comes to racial issue. White people would never get away with that. If that was televised and that was like,
This is the problem with retards. White people, black people, black people, white people.
Shut up. Don't just come on and just fucking interrupt. I normally I'll just put you in the audience. Just don't do that shit.
Is Sig there, or do you know? Sig? You're
out?
Yeah, what's up? What's going on? Bro, what's your thoughts on this? I'd be curious.
I mean, at least I posted a link in the chat, man. We had a situation in Detroit a few years back, man. Tyler Wingate, look him up, Wingate, white boy in Detroit over on the west side, got into a minor fender bender, and a mob of black people beat him to death, man, in a gas station parking lot over a minor fucking fender bender. I'm sorry, man. I'm just sick of you niggas, man. You niggas just destroy everything. You're violent. You're unruly. No one wants to be around you. Everything you touch, it's like you're the reverse Midas. Like everything you guys touch turns to fucking shit. And a bunch of black people are starting to realize this and come across it. But you're just violent. You're unrational, unreasonable. And this is why America's getting sick of you guys. Like you guys are literally wearing your welcome out.
Did you see what happened in the Cincinnati incident? Did you all know what happened from the beginning? This is one Mike. Peace to the room. Yeah, I'm aware of it. Peace. Because it looks like it kind of looks like an angry mob just jumped on these guys, when in actuality the guys who got jumped on. In actuality, the guys who got jumped on, they were instigating the situation first, and then they.
How do you know that? What information do you have?
Excuse me, I'm going to interrupt. Was Sig done finished speaking?
Hold on, Dr. Adams.
No, can we let Sig
No,
finish
Dr.
speaking?
Adams, hold on.
Dang, that bully.
Just let you know, I think.
They love to hear black people talk down.
So,
Let Sig finish, please. Stay out there.
Okay, hold on. I'm asking one Mike a question. What information do you have that they instigated it? I can't find any.
I got the actual video.
Can you post it?
Don't lie.
Yeah, I'll grab it and post it. They smacked the kid. They smacked the black guy. And that's what lit the fire.
But again, it's why.
It's not a but again.
Well, it starts with physical violence. Oh man, hey, shut the fuck up. This is exactly what we're talking about. I started talking, you niggas can't shut the fuck up and have some decorum and respect.
Looks like I got a fish.
You're a nigga. What? Yeah, your mom.
Whoa! Fucking let you go ahead, bro.
So again,
Looks like I caught a fish.
So still the question reigns: why does it take a mob of people? You typically see this with niggas. You can't just have a one-on-one. Even my experience bouncing in bars and clubs and DJing bars and clubs, on the country nights and the top 40 nights with white people, if there was a fight, it was typically a one-on-one. And it could be maintained, and the bouncers could do their job and separate it and break it up, and it wasn't a big deal. But hip-hop and R&B night, when you niggas would come in, a fight would turn into literally, it was like a chimpanzee exhibit at the fucking zoo. all you motherfuckers will chip out and have to involve yourselves in something. Yo, can you shut the fuck up? Act like a fucking black person.
No, I was talking in the background.
Then mute your fucking mic, because I'm talking
Shut the fuck up, pussy.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Get the fuck out of here. Go back down to the nigger section. Bye. Go back down to the slums. Go back down to the motherfuckers that bye. But again, why do, when it comes to black people, it's like you have to include 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 people for something that could just be resolved in a one-on-one. You guys are just extremely fucking violent. You guys push it to the fucking limits. Pass it. It's just the weirdest fucking shit, man. Take some accountability.
Yeah, so I was at a Dave Matthews concert last night. I didn't see one police officer the entire night. I couldn't listen to that shit. I know, but when I went to a Little Yachty concert, there were so many everywhere, and there were some fights, and yes, there was some scuffles. But when I was at the Dave Matthews concert, everyone was enjoying their time. It was amazing.
Okay, great. Well, to Sid, I'm not a nigger. I'm a human being first. So, and it's very sad that you hate your own people. Very sad. Get educated.
So again, pay attention, guys, to the logic coming from the black women. You wonder why the black women is in the fucking dumpster? It's because we got stupid bitches.
Yeah,
like
your
that.
mama's in the dumpster.
Whoa! So again, you see what I'm saying? You see how when you were talking about Mike, I waited.
It's sad that you hate your own people,
So again,
bro.
I'd say,
You categorize all black people in this box,
I'd say
bitch.
inside of your mama.
So look here, black bitch. I didn't say anything while you were talking.
Your mama's a black
Your
bitch.
mama's a black bitch. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
All right. Well, you can go down to the nigger section too. So again, I don't hate my people. I love black people. I can't stand you fucking niggers. That's what I can't stand. So again, black people are great. Because black people, like myself, like Ray, like Nye, like fucking Adams, who actually has some level of fucking decorum, who has some class and fucking grace, like, those are the black people I fucking love. It's you fucking niggers that come in and you just fucking turn everything upside down. And people are giving you grace and trying to understand your situation, but it's like no matter what level of guilt, understanding, consideration, empathy that people show, you take that, you ask for that inch, and when you're given that inch, you fucking take a mile, man. And people are just getting fucking sick of it. So dumb bitches like you who can't understand the difference between niggas and black people. No, I love black people. I love my grandmother. I love my great-grandmother. I love my grandfather. I love that generation of black excellence who are very well manicured, very well dressed, prioritize education, prioritize speaking English properly and assimilating to American culture and wanting to be part of the group, part of the solution and not part of the problem. Those are the black people I love. Is this generation of you fucking niggers? That I can't fucking stand.
Sig, white people were once black people that came out of Africa. White women were once black women that came out of Africa. White men were once black men that lived in Africa.
Yeah, so like if you look at Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and like his speeches and the way he's talked and the way he conducted himself, I mean that's what everyone should strive for.
Wait, hold on, Reverend who?
Martin Luther King Jr.
No, listen, first of all, Martin Luther King is still alive. Okay, that man is 90 years old, he lives in Florida. The only reason why he is dead is because he wanted to marry a white woman. And he was tired of activism, okay? So the fact that y'all believe that Martin Luther King is dead, y'all are horribly mistaken or you're just drunk.
Wait, did you read through the 2,300 pages of the FBI files?
He's alive. What are you talking about?
It's the cover up.
Wait, let's not derail. Yeah, okay. This room isn't about JFK.
But, you know, I do want to ask Sig about how the black community thinks of the YN culture. Because I live really close to D.C. and it's bad out here.
Can you elaborate, please? I grew up in D.C. but have not lived there since high school.
Yeah, it's
the YN culture.
Yeah, young nigga. The young nigga culture.
Young Congoids. There's plenty of black kids in every neighborhood, bro.
Brandon.
Like, come on.
Brandon. Can you elaborate? can you elaborate, please? Because I grew up in DC, but I have not lived there in a while, so I'd like to hear about
Well, what
how
type of
this
neighborhood
changed.
is it? Is it a rundown neighborhood?
Yeah, I'd like to hear what
Ghetto?
type of neighborhood it is.
Kinda have
What
the
type of
opportunity
what
to
is
out
the
there.
Y?
Ghetto? Maybe they will turn to certain things, you know?
Let's
Those
use
types of
enemy.
I think that really hit a
Excess
sore
enemy.
spot.
But what about the little white?
And
The
now,
why it's a discussion that happens
One might
among the
understand.
African American
Enemies.
communities, and
Anything,
yeah,
bro.
like even black people are afraid of like their 12 and 11-year-old black kids that don't have any fathers at home because they're wilding out on public.
Maybe they're going through a certain situation where their parents are pretty, they have no choice but to allow. Maybe there's no guidance.
Maybe the government doesn't pay for enough therapy. Maybe education's lacking. Maybe financial resources are diminished in the community.
Libraries, are there enough libraries in the neighborhoods? Are there libraries in these neighborhoods? Because
Yes, it's federally funded. There's a lot of
lack of
opportunity
libraries.
here. No, I think it's just part of the culture. Honestly.
Are there basketball camps? Are there libraries? Because if there's libraries, but
100% there is.
there aren't any
So many
basketball
activities.
camps.
There's so many activities for these.
Don't forget about the pandemic and what COVID-19 did to these communities.
Okay.
We're having fun.
One mic. Yeah, I just put the link in the chat. All right, you put the link. Okay.
These
you may be getting
communities are
what
ravished.
the YN culture is, because I don't really.
Yeah, that's what I was asking Stig originally.
Yeah, so the YN culture is this culture that's being raised by these single mothers, these black single mothers. So they don't give a fuck. It's all about them. They come in, they destroy things, they bring a high level of violence with them, irrationality, unchecked emotions, unchecked impulse control. This is this generation that you step on my sneakers, I'm gonna kill you and take your life. You say something that I don't like on Facebook, I'm gonna kill you and take your life. If I have a beef with you, I'm not just gonna keep the beef with you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load up a gun and spray up the entire neighborhood and kill innocent children and women and just not give a fuck. That's what YN
We're talking about black
example of this YN culture.
That's some shit. Like the original motherfuckers going up and shooting up other people.
Brandon, can you please?
Same shit.
Brandon, can you please make black people look decent by having some decorum and letting Zenimini finish his statement and not interrupting him? Like at least show a good example of black people that we have some decorum.
I'm on you, bro.
Yeah, but then stay on mute. I'm asking you, please. Because what you guys don't realize,
I've been going on mute.
but you're still talking right now. You're still talking. Right. Again, I have the fucking floor right now. You don't. You're literally proving.
I'm gonna
right
take the floor, right?
There we go. That's
He's gonna take
That's
this shit.
That's a why.
He's gonna take it.
Brandon right
Just
there.
like a green thing can take the floor, I can take the floor. Like I have no power over mute, but just like, but I'm gonna go on mute and be respectful.
Zenimini,
Just
when
like
you
that.
ask what a YN is, Zenimini, that's a YN right there. Don't give a
I'm
fuck.
probably older than you.
I do what I want, how I want, when I want. Fuck the rules.
And I chose to go on mute.
Fuck everybody else. It's all about me. And these single modern black women raise niggas like this.
And you're not a nigga. Okay.
Can we maybe get a hard reset in the society, in the culture, in the room? Hello? 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 Hello?
My favorite part of that video is the woman in the white dress randomly. She like calculates.
It's not about race, it's about values.
If she can get away with kicking a guy, and she like stomps on the guy, and then suddenly pulls her wig off. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Don't forget about autism in the community. Autism.
Yeah, the black community, yeah.
Hey, I put the link in the chat, so if you want to click on it and go over.
Is that the Alabama one, right?
No, that's this one in Cincinnati that just happened.
Well, we know it. It's up in the jumbotron thing on top here.
I'm talking about from what started it.
Link is not working for me. Oh wait.
So you actually have video
here we go.
of that particular interview.
Here we go.
Yeah, from what started.
I'm about to watch it.
Does it say the N-word?
Did it say the F word? Did it say the F word or N word? Those are the two most repulsive words.
So I watched the start of it, so it looked like there was some kind of confrontation, and then people kept on posturing up and getting in a stance as if they were going to fight, the white guy was doing it, so were several different black people, and then it showed that they were like standing, and it kept on like, for whatever reason, it wouldn't just let it play, but it was like it kept on doing this short little rewind, but where it showed the guy kind of like, he didn't smack his face, he like touched it. It wasn't quite a smack, it was like a touch in a weird way with an open palm. But it looked disrespectful, I'll say that. But then all of a sudden, like they just got jumped.
So would it be controversial to say if that man was in a fighting stance with another man, I'm not assuming I haven't watched the video yet, that he can use the N-word at that point? Why does it matter at that point? That's not what started it. No, that's where it gets a little bit, like, who cares at that point, right?
Yeah, he's saying it started because the guy touched his face, but there were already people shoving each other and fighting.
Yeah, but they were trying to break it up.
No,
and that guy reached
by a
over
random
there.
guy.
He reached over there and he smacked the guy in the red shirt.
But how did it start?
It started because those guys were acting obnoxious, and they kept.
Yeah, how do you know that? Do you have proof for that?
Yeah, I got proof of that.
Like words should not condone fighting. That's.
If you don't have the full story, why is it post the video?
Do you know how many people would be dead right now if you could shoot people on this app?
Words speak louder than actions, and sometimes it's the right thing to do.
The problem is, though, is that you were seeing people run out of nowhere, doing literal head stomps. There were people that were just running in to sneak in a punch and sneak in kicks. Then you saw the woman who, she was getting attacked, and then a guy ends up sucker punching her in the face, and she's knocked down unconscious on the pavement. Like,
it's just like October 7th.
Shut the fuck up, American.
I don't agree with the overkill. I'm totally against the overkill.
He got jumped.
Yeah, no, it was more than one of them. Also, I'm saying I don't agree with the overkill, but I don't agree also with.
I'm against murder and killing.
I think that at that point, after the guy in the white shirt had been kicked by people, he was surrounded by a bunch of people who were hitting him, trying to hit him. He was fending people off. I listened to the narrator in the video that you posted. The narrator says everything's cool until the white guy throws the first punch. So let's watch right here. The white guy reaches out and touches the black guy who's wearing a red shirt in the face. Presumably, the black man in the red shirt said, "If you fucking touch me, it's over." And the white man presumably reached out and went, "Oh, it's just like this," and he touched him in the face. I think that to call that the first punch is disingenuous.
They were already pushing
and fighting and shoving. And if anything, you might even call the face touching like an attempt at a de-escalation or finding some type of humor. Because if Pepe and I were...
No, dude, if you touch somebody's face, that's it.
Listen, excuse me. Well, wait a minute. If Pepe and I are fighting and Pepe says, if you fucking touch me, that's it. And if I reach out and boop him on the nose and go, boop, and then he fucking clocks me in the face, that is insane because
brother, that's now what you're saying is disingenuous. You know good and well there's nowhere in America that you can go and in a hostile situation, you're the other.
This is a lynching.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Hey, shut up and let me go. Let me go. Go ahead, Mike.
You're the other person in a violent situation and it's escalating, and the guy says, if you touch me one more time and you reach over there and you're saying this is a friendly gesture, I'm going to put my hand in a grown man's
This dumb room will go on for hours.
You're a stranger, you're already in opposition with him. You're going to tell me that you could just touch him in the face and say, oh, it was just a friendly gesture.
No, you can't do that. I would say that I mean,
even if he got punched after touching the guy's face like that, I mean, the white guy was asking for it, to get punched back. I take him doing that to his face as a challenge, and so that's. I would only anticipate a fight if I did that to somebody, but exactly. But with that being said, it doesn't mean like a bunch of hyenas they get to go and just like start mobbing him and kicking and stomping on his fucking head, and then of course there's the wife. Why was she getting beaten by all of these people, and why did a guy sucker punch her in the side of the head?
Okay, let me add this, okay? Like I said before, morally, I think that the overkill was wrong, okay? Also, I need to add this. It was reports of that same guy and those people running around antagonizing people because I think they were a little under the influence, and they kept getting passes. And that geographical location right there, that is a all like melanated community. And it is like kind of, it's one of the roughest communities in the city of Cincinnati. Okay, anytime that could have been that. I don't necessarily think that was racial. If it had been Bob and he did that in that area right there, when the numbers is against you, that is the wrong thing to do. You have to know the history on the area as well. So they kept getting passes, and if you look in the video, you could see where people were really genuinely trying to break it up. So it wasn't just attack, like the narrative may seem like is leaning towards. It wasn't just all-out attack, angry mob attack. It was instances where they were trying to break it up and de-escalate it. Had he not reached over
Sure, but we don't know how it fucking started. We saw multiple black men pushing black men, squaring up, like before that fight started.
If you take color off, okay, then you say there was a mob of Americans fighting other Americans, then it has a different perception, and it don't sound the same. But because you can use the race card, then it makes it look like it was black or white. I'm telling you,
it's not because the race card. See, the thing is though is. First of all, those I saw what almost all looked like adults, most of them young adults, but I saw a lot of people that appeared to be in their 30s and 40s. Now, I don't think you would really see white people behave that way generally. Sure, people can get jumped with it. I'm just going to say that's generally, like with white people, it's seen as like pretty low and dishonorable to just take a stomp on somebody's fucking head, especially if you have nothing to do with the altercation. But then punching a woman, we don't really. It's not really.
You're making this a comparison of race. And if you're going to do that, then you also have to speak about all the times that you turn on social media or the news and you see a melanated kid getting killed by police. So
what does this have to do with the police? We're talking about how people conduct themselves in public.
We're talking about what do this have to do with race?
Because a bunch of niggers ended up violently attacking those those white couples. That white couple.
So when you say niggers,
yes, that's exactly what they are. And okay. That's exactly what they are: low class, ignorant, violent, animalistic niggers.
So it sounds like you have some bias and you're racist.
No, not at all, one Mike. See, this is the thing. It's not a matter of racism. It's a matter of we've seen a consistent pattern of behavior from a group of people that share similar characteristics, a set of characteristics. Again, if you make the comparison, one Mike, you generally won't see. I just put a link. Actually, I just put a link in the in the chat. One Mike. It's a white man in Detroit. He got into a minor fender bender, just literally a minor bumper accident in Detroit. You know what the response of those black people in that area were? There were probably 20 of them that jumped this white man and killed him right on the spot for a simple fender bender. Nobody got hurt, nobody got injured, nobody got ran over. What's the likelihood you would see that same reaction if it were a black person getting into a minor fender bender in a white neighborhood?
I can't say that because I have different instances of where white people have did things to black people, like the young black kid that was in Georgia was just jogging and he ran into the house and the white guys grabbed him and killed him violently. So
are you talking about Ahmaud Arbery?
Yeah, Ahmaud Arbery.
You mean the guy that grabbed the shotgun from one guy and was gonna shoot the other guy?
Guys.
Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah, let him finish.
We have other instances of a young male going into a church, shooting up the church, killing in a melanated church. But I think
that's a minority thing.
Okay, but I think the thing is, we can conveniently use the race card. If we just say Americans, then we know it's an American problem. But when we try to like make it just a race thing, then we're conveniently putting something on a race of people.
Okay, fuck that bullshit. You're being very disingenuous. The reason being is that
he's appealing to minority versus the majority of a black.
Sure. But white people, okay, first of all, there might have been some like sick white trash, Nazis online that maybe said, oh yeah, what Dylan Roof did was so cool. But I mean, other than that, he was like white people, 99% of them think that what Dylan Roof did was disgusting, and nobody was trying to run cover for him. Nobody's trying to justify it. But for whatever reason, whenever black people do stupid, bad shit, there's always a fucking excuse with you people. Like, it is so fucking annoying. Like, you guys need to be held accountable, and we need to call out your shitty fucking behavior. All you've been doing is try to downplay it and shift the blame more towards the white people. No, it was these fucking animals.
So, and that's not true.
This is specifically
that's
my
not
point.
true either, because at the beginning,
you're just crying. Okay, and this is why Martin Luther King ran away and faked his death. Okay, this crying, this complaining, and this bullshit. Okay, there's absolutely no accountability. Zero accountability. And this is specifically the reason why Martin Luther King faked his death, ran away with that white woman, and lives peacefully today in sunny Florida.
Listen, man, people need to just be honest about, like, this is kind of why nobody likes black people, is because even when they do bad shit, then we have dumb motherfuckers like this guy trying to excuse it. And it's just crazy that you have
what
no
sounds disingenuous is every example you have is depicting of a melanated group of people doing something to white Europeans.
Because the frequency, Mike, is the frequency. How frequent it happens is way more with black people.
Yeah, you kind of have to work the numbers game, like, as a mathematician. Like, you have to think of numbers. Like, where are the numbers,
One, Mike, I don't know if you know this, but statistically, white people are 10 times more likely to die by a black person than a black person is to die by a white person.
Yeah, but Keegan, is that per capita?
What about that video of this black dude getting jumped by a bunch of white bikers?
We don't need to be talking about no per
Sig, what did you just say, Sig? I didn't hear what Sig had said.
No, Mike, what I'm saying is it's true, Mike. We have a problem with lack of accountability, and we have a problem with supporting and condoning fuck shit. So, for example, I hear black people saying, well, you call me N-word, there's consequences. Okay, well, in this situation that we talked about in the link above, what happens if, what happened if those black people said something negative to him and his result was to slap somebody in the face or punch somebody first? Why don't they get the same benefit of the doubt that we asked for? Is that if you say something fucked up to me, motherfucker, there's consequences. Well, what if one of the black people said something fucked up to him? The consequences was to get smacked or punched in the face. Why doesn't he get that same benefit of the doubt? It seems like when it comes to white people, Mike, we apply a different set of rules to them than we apply to our own people, and it's just not fair.
Okay, well, how about this right here? Okay, if we took off the race card and said it was a group of guys and the lady got beat up by a group of guys, then would it have the same consequences, and would you all feel the same way?
Well, you tell me, was it wrong?
Was it wrong for what?
Was it wrong for the group of guys to beat up the lady and the other guys in that group at that level?
I think that it was overkill.
So it was wrong, excessive force, too much.
Yeah, I think it was a bit too much.
You're like hesitating to even admit.
Yeah, we said that already. We said it was excessive already.
You don't know those people. Why are you defending them or trying to like think about your answer? You can simply say yes, it was overkill, but you're thinking about it. Like you're hesitating for some.
Do you think that it was wrong for him to? Do you think it was wrong for him to put his hands on the guy? With the
Yeah, it was. If he would have got punched directly back in the face afterwards, and fell down or some shit, and it was over. Yeah, I'd say he was kind of asking for it. Do I think that like for the whole crowd to like jump him and try to stomp on his head, which that should be, basically that's aggravated assault.
Yeah, once you're on the ground,
you're trying to cause serious damage by stomping on somebody's head. Like that's very serious.
And Pepe, that situation would be warranted if he was carrying a concealed weapon. He would be 100% warranted to bring a firearm out and use deadly force in that situation. It's just one mic. No matter how you cut it, we see way more instances, and we're trying to figure out why do black people? Well, I wouldn't say black people because black people don't do shit like this. Why do these niggers always take it to the level of extreme violence? It takes 15 people to curry. Like, look at them curb stomping and kicking a dude in, like that will cause serious traumatic brain injury over something so simple like words. Why is it that when we see these types of people, one mic, they don't typically fight one-on-one? It's always a group mentality trying to literally kill somebody. Why does it always have to go to that level with them?
The thing is that I'm about to tell you, okay? You don't just see that with a group of melanated people against a Caucasian person. You in areas like that, it could have been me. I'm American Indian. But I look like I'm a melanated person. If I had went over there and I did the same thing in that particular area, the same thing would have happened to me. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But that's not true. We have statistics, one mic, that show blacks are way more likely to perpetrate violence against whites than the other way around. We have hard evidence. We have hard data.
It's not
both
just
black and white.
It's not just about white people.
Okay,
it's all other races. Every single race victimizes black people less than black people victimize them. When you look at just violent crime in general, including all of it. Not trying to parse.
Okay, but from what time?
Yeah, it's the FBI statistics.
Year.
Yeah, you can just look at it. It's public data. You can look it up right now.
Every single year they
releases. Yeah.
And then
there's an intro.
Have you done statistics on European cops killing melanated children?
Yes.
How many black people did the police kill last year?
10,000.
Yeah, one mic. If you go on Washington Post has been tracking how many black people succumb to cops. The numbers ain't what you guys think. It's a very small percentage.
Yeah, Roland Fryer conducted.
Hold on one second, man. Hold on, man. Let me finish real quick. So one mic. If you go to the Washington Post, they've actually been tracking for years the incidences between cops in general, and blacks. It's been consistent around 200 to 250 blacks are killed by cops a year, and they show and highlight each case. It's only about, you're lucky to reach the number of 4 or 5 black people unjustifiably killed. When you look at these individual cases and break them down, the black people are always resisting arrest, trying to take the cops' guns, trying to run the cop over, speed off, trying to hit the cop with the crowbar or some type of, there's always some level of defiance and violence that the blacks are displaying first towards the cops, and then it's the cops responding with lethal force back. So it's very extremely rare that a cop is just gonna pull over a black person who's on their way to fucking law school and say, I'm gonna fucking kill you, nigger, you're dead. Like, that's just, it's not happening, Mike. The narrative is...
That's sick. According to CNN, there's thousands of young black people that are being killed by cops every single day. What are you talking about?
The funny thing is that these fake pro-black people, who they love black people so much, they literally have nothing to say. It's pin drops when, 6,000 to 700 black people kill black people every year. But, if one cop kills one black guy, then they start fucking crying. They're killing our people. They're killing our people. Meanwhile, every day, 20 black people are killed by black people, and they're fucking silent. These fake pro-black people are mentally ill, bro. They're degenerates, and they don't care about black people.
That's
They
what
don't care
they're
about
saying.
How many evil think about how many evil killer cops that have been white that they've complained about. Think about how many black people's lives they have saved by making good felony arrests that prevented these people from going off to kill more people than they actually took.
Oh, that's a good point, Gabriel.
It doesn't matter. Look, because today 20 black people are gonna die by other black people, but these fake ass pro-black retards, they're not gonna say shit. They're gonna be
right. But I'm saying even the worst cop who's completely racist and commits a terrible bad shooting has saved more black lives than any of the activists protesting him by making good arrests, by being there, by getting people off the street who are dangerous in his career. He's that horrible guy has done more for the black community than any of the fucking activists who want to protest.
Damn, bro, mic drop, man.
It sounds like you guys are forgetting where you're at. Do you understand? The reason I say that is because...
Hold on, Joel, let him finish. Go ahead.
The reason I say that is because you must don't remember the history of the violence that was perpetuated on melanated people in America.
So then what you
during slavery and things like that.
Yeah, but one mic. What you're now saying is now it's not about doing what's right. It's about getting revenge. That's the argument.
No. I never said that. That didn't come out my mouth. What I'm saying
You
is...
saying melanated people, you understand that Asians are melanated people too, right? And they were...
And also Spanish people are melanated.
One mic.
We talk about the Hispanics?
This is begging a question.
People as well. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
This is begging an answer from one mic. Hold on. One mic. How should we judge society and set expectations in society based on the violence that was perpetrated on black people 400 years ago to 100 years ago?
It was exaggerated.
How should we change society in response to that?
Okay, hold on. He asked me a question. Can I answer it? I think that the responsible thing to do today is let's eliminate color as it relates to people. Let's stop saying white people and let's stop saying black people. It's either you're American or you're not.
Colorblind society.
And then we'll see where this conversation can go. Because if you say there's a violent problem in America, then there's a violent problem in America across the board.
Whoa.
You know,
what if a group in America is committing twice the violent crime of all the other groups in America?
Well, the problem is it's going to be a problem in America. So that means that the problem has to be fixed.
Okay. So if a group was committing twice the violent crime than other groups, do you think they might get arrested more by cops in America?
He doesn't want you to bring up race because it makes his race look bad. So he wants to talk about something else.
Where the issue is.
I'm not part of a black race.
Here is where the issue is.
There's only one.
Here is where the issue is, okay? What needs to happen is all these Pan-Africanist academics, okay, that have invaded UC Berkeley, Harvard, and the catacombs of Yale, they all need to be deported, okay? They're the only ones doing the heavy lifting, okay, in Black America as far as this fake activism that leads people to be complaining towards a pointless aim that we're hearing now on the stage. So my whole point is that when we start focusing on the immigration problem of deporting a lot of these academics that are peddling this bullshit across the country, that's where we're actually having a real conversation. And I go back to my aforementioned point. This is why Martin Luther King left, went to Florida, and married that white woman. He got tired of listening to this shit. The Africans and the Caribbeans came in there with their colonialist bullshit and started demonizing white people, and all of a sudden, white people are the problem.
Yeah, and just to answer really quick,
Yes, I'm here.
I think something happened. He had to go on mute.
Yeah, the thing, one mic, is if you're gonna try to absolve race from it, you know, the biggest group that always brings it back to race, it's our people, one mic. We make everything about race. We don't get a job. We don't get hired somewhere. We get pulled over. Like, you ever watch body cam video on YouTube, like body cam videos, cops on mic?
I've seen cops before.
Okay, well, there's a bunch of YouTube channels where it's just straight body cam footage from all over the country, all over the United States. And it's very unbiased. It's not leaned towards any direction, any race, any creed, none of that shit. But the one thing I notice is all the white people that get pulled over and have problems with the police, I have yet to hear a white person say, it's because I'm white. But the majority of time, and you're probably talking 70 to 75% of the videos that I watch on mic, when black people get pulled over, what's the first thing that comes out of their mouth? It's because I'm black. So it's like, I hear what you're saying, and we all agree with you that it shouldn't be about race, but it's like the very group that's saying it shouldn't be about race always makes it about race as soon as a level of accountability comes to their doorstep.
So I guarantee you, if everybody in this room right now, when they talk about the problem, if they don't identify it as a black person, or some even say a nigger, if a nigger or a white person, and just said an American, then you will understand that we have a problem in America, and it's violence.
It's not an American problem, it's a black problem.
See, you can't see how you just can't do it?
Hold on. First of
all, you don't like facts. Yeah,
violence did not just pop up. Violence does not just pop up when America became America. Okay, violence is a part of human nature. Okay, if you don't listen, you're going to feel. It's very simple. So I mean, this isn't an American problem. This is a human problem.
Yeah, and one mic, I was just gonna say that if you believe like we should stop looking at each other as far as our race, then you should be pro-Trump, because what he's been trying to do is different departments, his secretaries have been trying to roll back the DEI, the idea of like, the Small Business Administration has been giving loans to people based on their race, not based on their merits or their creditworthiness. I mean, stuff like that makes no sense whatsoever. We had actually the highest defaults on our loans as the SBA in the last 4 years, because we didn't base our loans based on merit. We based on race, which is stupid. It makes no sense. So like, yes, I agree with you. Let's stop. The government should stop looking at people based on race. Look at people based on their merit. I agree with you.
Yeah, because see, when you add it, some people, we got to keep in mind, everybody is not disingenuous, okay? But there are a lot of people that profit off of these type of conversations, and there are a lot of people that takes advantage and they spew a rhetoric based on how they really feel about a group of people.
Look at Al Sharpton.
Yeah, I mean,
he allegedly raped a woman, and he's a big advocate for the black community for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, we could say whoever.
Well, I mean, that's,
you know what I'm saying? But
look at who started Kwanzaa.
Look at who? What?
Who started Kwanzaa?
Look at Reverend Jackson. Also, he's I'm not gonna. Allegedly, he did bad things. So.
Allegedly, but the person who started Kwanzaa, they were actually convicted and put into prison in the 70s for raping and kidnapping women.
He sounds kind of low. I could barely.
He said the person that invented Kwanzaa allegedly raped and did some bad things.
Allegedly was convicted.
Right, he was convicted for raping and kidnapping women. Like, what are you talking about?
But okay, people who are serious about this situation in America, then they're not going to differentiate.
No, we are going to differentiate, because once again,
it's an American
No,
problem.
you guys will do Black Lives Matter, all of that bullshit, and you'll give your goddamn self
Who are you guys, though? Who are you guys?
Hold on. Let me explain it to this guy.
But hold on, Joel. And then it's just like all of a sudden when black people misbehave, oh, now you want to be colorblind. Like, no, that's fucking bullshit.
That wasn't even started by minority people or by melanated people.
It was.
That was
Black Lives Matter was started by
founded by 3 black women. Yeah.
It wasn't.
3 lesbians.
I mean, there's a lot of white people that donated.
But here's the thing with them Black Lives Matter, because I've seen the motherfucking march.
I will say this. You barely see any fucking black people in those damn marches. You see a sea full of white people marching for Black Lives Matter with like maybe 10 black people amongst 800 fucking people throughout there. So I'll say that Black Lives Matter shit, although it was started by them two lesbian black bitches, that movement wasn't really a black movement to begin.
So then why name it? See, this is what I'm saying. This is why people can't take black seriously, because we say shit like that, right? But then we label it Black Lives Matter. Then name it something else. Then this is so fucking preschool.
Yeah, but Sick. What I'm saying is that movement, like I said, it's a contrived movement. Yeah, there were some black people that supported it and whatnot, but that wasn't the overall goal. That whole goal really was just to promote lesbianism and really destroy the black family as a whole.
Right, but
when
black,
you deal with
black people in like when you say some black people, no, the majority of black people supported it, right? Let's not be disingenuous.
But I'm just saying, I literally saw them march multiple times. All I'm saying is that I didn't see a whole bunch of black people in those marches. I saw a whole bunch of white people up in the marches, and in other ethnic groups that were in those marches.
Right, and that's true because there are more of other races than there are black people. So when other races are trying to support black people in a movement they think is righteous, yeah, you're going to see them come out. And then, too, you're going to get other groups that are going to take advantage and loot and trash shit and all that stuff. But that should be expected, right? That's not something we shouldn't expect to see. But what we're saying is that, again, one mic is advocating that we make this non-racial, which all I've seen my whole life is white people trying to make things non-racial. It's always the black people that come up whenever they can't get their way and want to throw a temper tantrum. They bring race into it. This is why, again, I think it was Joel or whoever brought up, Adams brought up DEI. Like, that's the whole reason why DEI is still a topic nowadays. And when we try to get away from race, what happens is black people can't compete. And black people realize they can't compete, so now they want a fucking handicap and a fucking advantage. And so now they start bringing light to race and trying to make other races feel guilty for the fact that they don't want to put in the work and they're too lazy to compete with the rest of society.
Let me ask you a question, Rasig. Do you believe that if Martin Luther King still wanted to be a public person, okay, and he came out of Florida and made a public statement, do you believe that he would actually be an advocate for DEI, or was he just advocating for?
No, of course he would not. He would not.
Or was he an advocate for certain laws to create equal opportunity, not necessarily equal?
So, Adams, I know you have. This is a great fantasy, but I think the truth about Martin Luther King's motivations and his lineage, and I just go with what his professors at his commie-ass university said about him, and that was that King had really exceptional talent, and he was above average for his race, but he didn't have the problem of becoming capitalist or becoming greedy personally, and that he was a true believer who was going to continue carrying forward the message, even if he got successful.
So,
and that's why they invested so much into him, because he was a true believer, not a
grifter,
not a greedy person who was just in it for himself.
So, Manville, you would agree that he would
like, use his pronouns correctly. The man is.
Okay, he is in the shadows and inactive, but fully a Marxist agent who would do whatever was in his power to best advance Marxism in America and bring forth the revolution.
So, Mandel, like, you're basically saying, like, in your opinion, he would be
Actually, Martin Luther King honestly would be a conservative. If he
he would support Mondavi.
Socially, he's a social conservative.
No, he would be a socialist. He'd be a communist.
He'd be considered a Republican.
I don't know. He's a neocon.
He was the next governor or next mayor of New York City. He would support that guy.
I personally think that he voted for Trump under his assumed identity.
No. If he's still alive, I don't know what the hell you're coming from. You're gonna have to give me some shit on this. Martin Luther King is alive.
Have you met him, Adam?
Thank you. Did you read the 23,000 pages? Did you read the 2,300 pages?
Man, I got it. You got some nice skin on there.
Are y'all okay?
You know what I'm saying? I think that Victoria, you look like you got delicate skin. You know what I'm saying? You bruise easy. You know what
I
I'm
also
saying?
think if Martin Luther King was still alive, Adams, he wouldn't be living on some island in Florida. He'd be living on Epstein's island.
So maybe that's what Victoria and the last. That's why they released the files, Manville. Maybe that's what Victoria and the last 3 presidents that she was briefing in the Situation Room. Maybe that's what they were discussing.
Okay. So best type of.
So I got a question for one. I got a question for one, Mike. Well, Mike, since you're saying we should move away from race, would you? And I think it was a fair question. I think it was posed earlier. Would you be in support of getting rid of DEI then, and making everything equal as far as hiring processes for employment?
Yes, I would. If it means getting rid of the race card, then yeah.
Okay, I mean yeah, that's fair.
I would say make it equal across the board.
You must be a Trump supporter.
Are we talking about politics? Who we chose who in the presidential race? Or are we talking about?
I'm not looking for an answer. I'm just saying you must be a Trump supporter. I'm just making a statement.
I don't think he's a bad guy.
Yeah, you seem like you're pretty alive.
But it seems like you said that holds just as much weight as Junior's still alive, huh?
You know, during his first term, he saw the lowest unemployment rating for all of non-melanated people.
JFK Jr. is still alive too, right? I know he didn't go down to the plane. You seen him at the rallies, the Trump rallies. He's the dude with the hat that sits in the back that you see at all the rallies. He was there actually on the attempted assassination of Trump. He's still like, you know the guy with the hat I'm talking about?
Are you making fun of Dr. Adams? Are you making fun of Dr. Adams?
No, not at all, not at all. Because I'm curious about. I keep feeling like
Let's stay on topic. That's not the topic. That's not the topic. Let's
okay. My fault.
Topic, please. So one Mike.
Yes, sir.
Why? I got a question for you. Why is it? Because you seem like a pretty. And I'll tell you this. My apologies for the rough start, man. You seem like a really reasonable guy. So I'm sorry for calling your name and all that, man. So.
No problem. I was just trying. What had happened? My mic was off, and you thought I was interrupting the bill that you guys were having. When actually I was talking in the background.
Okay.
And then I realized my mic was off, and I was trying to apologize.
Okay.
But it's no problem.
Yeah.
I don't hold grudges.
Yeah, same here, man. So okay, cool, brother. But yeah, you seem like a pretty reasonable man. You seem like you're a decent guy. So then my question to you is, why don't more black people think like us, where we want to take race out of the factor, get rid of DEI, get rid of anything that makes it about race, and make it more about being an American citizen and being competitive on an equal playing field. Why is it that most of our people don't think this way?
Well, I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything of that nature, but everybody are not the same. I'm not black, so some people are different, but I think it all should boil down to, do you want to be an American or not?
I'm sorry, I'm just going to do, I know, because I believe in accountability. When you say, I heard you say you're Indian before. Who are your people?
Who are my people?
Yeah, you said you're native.
I'm an American Indian. I never said that.
Well, American Indian, amazing.
Yeah.
What is that?
That is an American Indian.
What tribe?
Cherokee.
Yeah, right.
Cherokee.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not black. You just happen to look black.
Black is not a race for real.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Literally.
Black is not a race. I'm sorry. You've been misinformed. Just do your research.
I've done my research.
then you'll know that black is not.
Yeah, no, it's definitely people from sub-Saharan Africa.
Just
are
like
black.
white. No, no, sir.
Yes.
That's not true.
It is true.
Do your homework.
Yeah,
You know, okay, all right, then I'm gonna say this.
One mic, real quick. Though, if you're being technical, you're correct. Black is not a race. It's technically Negroid. We just call it black. Just like white isn't the technical term. It's Caucasoid. So technically right, but there is Negroid, Caucasoid, Australoid, Mongoloid, Capoid. Like those are actually races. Those actually do.
And
Mike, I'm just gonna say this, okay? You're not an Indian. Like the one thing blacks also have to stop doing is stop trying to co-opt other people's identities. It's really, really fucking obnoxious. I understand you bought into a bunch of pseudoscientific, bullshit online, but you're not. You're just black, dude. That is your identity. Just embrace it. You're not Indian.
Wasn't Vice President Harris an Indian also?
No, she was an easy Indian. She's a Hindustan. But you guys got to understand what race really is. You got to do your research. You've been lied to, and I know this is a harsh reality because in actual reality, you know what? You guys that are calling yourself white, really you are black. Oh God damn.
All right, here's a question.
No, seriously. Look, Pepe.
Hey.
Look, hold on, brother. I'll get to you. Just calm down. Look in the etymology dictionary, and you'll see that really black is white and white is black.
What did the Bible say? What did the Bible say?
Are you a Hamite, a Shemite, or a Japhethite?
Right now, I'm an American. I don't want to make this about me. I want to make this about us. Can we live? Can we cohabitate? Hold on, brother. Calm down. Can we cohabitate together like civilized people?
Are you trying to move that depends on what rules are followed.
Okay, the rule is if you want to go by black or if you want to go by white, if this was so, I would say then leave. Now, would you stay? Leave America.
That statement makes absolutely
that makes no sense.
But I'm asking you, if that was the case, would you leave or would you stay?
If what was the case?
If you wanted to continue to subscribe by white or those who subscribe by black, you have an option now. You can leave America or you can stay if you're going to subscribe by just being an American.
I got news for you. It seems like it might be news to you. There are a hell of a lot more ways that I differentiate myself from other people than what race I belong to. There's a hell of a lot more to me than one gigantic, like the most gigantic broad category short of gender.
I guess everybody understands what you're talking about.
But no, the thing is, the one mic, it's just like how you would get these obnoxious people years ago that were online saying, you will respect my pronouns, and it's like Zer or something stupid like that. And it's just like, dude, you have a pretend fucking heritage, and you like want us to sit here. It's like I'm just gonna tell you this, 100% of white people, well, nearly 100%, in most black people, if you tell them that you are an American Indian, they're gonna chuckle. They'd be like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking idiot."
No, not necessarily, because first you got to understand what an American Indian is.
I think everybody has a good idea.
Yeah, you don't understand. You need probably do a little more research before you.
What tribe do you belong to?
I already told you.
Cherokee.
Oh, Cherokee. Well, wasn't that the tribe that took in some of the runaway slaves when they went on the Trail of Tears? There was a couple people who intermixed, like 12.
Oh, yeah, that's not nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of bad history about a lot.
Where's the reparations? As a Cherokee, I think we need reparations.
Where's the reparations?
But I mean, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure if you go to the Cherokee, I don't know if the Cherokees have a reservation, but I'm pretty sure that none of them, literally 0%, will have one Mike's phenotype. Like, I'm sorry.
So it sounds like you guys just don't like anybody. Who do you
No,
like?
I don't like people who pretend to be stuff they're not.
So
I mean, you expect me to acknowledge you as being that thing. I don't have to do that.
You don't have to acknowledge the thing, babe, but you can still hear him out.
Who are you?
As somebody who lives in reality.
No, I'm saying you're coming down on me about who I am. What
Okay,
is your
if I go to, I don't know, wherever the fuck
what's
black,
your nationality,
young black
okay?
men, well, I'm a nigga, so if I go to wherever the young niggas like to hang out, and I say like, yo niggas, what's up? I mean, there's gonna be some problems, we know that, and just because I say I'm black does not mean they'll see me as black. They will not, in fact, they will just tell me to go shut the fuck up.
He's just trying to educate you.
Yeah,
you don't have to call yourself black. You could want to understand, okay, what do you mean by black etymologically meaning white? You could ask him that. He's not demanding any of you.
Okay, nobody's gonna consider me black in person. Nobody. If I said I was Native American, maybe they allow some people. I know that you have people of partial ancestry that might, that do pass as white, but
Pepe, you can't tell anybody who they are.
Yes, I fucking can.
Okay, no, he can't. Just like he can't tell you. That was your fear. You're like, you can't. I'm not gonna say what you. He's not trying to say that. He's just saying, look, you don't know something. Let me tell you. And every time you get on the stage, you don't want anybody to tell you.
Yeah. What if he told you he's a woman? What is a woman?
Well, I mean, no. I know what I am. I know what my ancestry is.
He's not trying to make you do anything.
Well, no, he's telling me he's something that he's not.
You don't have to accept it.
It's also offensive because it's also very niggerish because he's stealing somebody else's fucking identity and putting it on like a fucking costume. That's fucking obnoxious.
It's niggardly to be cheap.
I want to get in this conversation.
You're more niggardly than anybody.
Whoa!
If you want to call anybody niggardly, it'd be the Jews.
That's anti-Semitic. Stop.
No, it's not. They literally were like cutting like the ridges off of fucking the outside of the coins. That's being niggardly. That's being cheap.
Okay, amazing.
It's weird. This nigga want to say nigger all day. The moment I mention a Jew, he gets scared.
Listen,
you are white, definitely.
And listen, so look, it's like this, right? I mean, there's many books you can go to. I mean, you can go look at the Black Indians book, where there was admixtures of black, and like literally the most mixture of any other group of races on this planet was black and Native Americans, right? Me being one of them, all right? My father being Native, my mother being black, right? I'm gonna just say this, right? Like this stuff is very readily available. Was it the Virginia Act of 1682, if I'm not mistaken, classified Native Americans as being, Negro?
Yep.
That's literally something you can go look up.
That's
right?
how they changed the population of Indians and Negroes. They would interchange them because they couldn't tell the difference.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, and maybe you could say one had longer hair than the other and whatnot, but the point is that like when you have those admixtures, certain people, when they start to mix in with each other, one DNA can overtake the other, right? So my whole thing is like, it's not far-fetched to say that these black people aren't native or have native ancestry when in times past, right? And even to this very day, you do have certain reservations that have people that look straight up Negro, but they're a part of the native. Yeah, I mean the Blackfoot, the Cherokee, they're the different similar tribes.
And all those black folk out there, they Indian.
So I'm just saying, like, just from that standpoint, I mean, when you look up the information, I mean, it makes sense. Now to sit up here and say and try to push the other Native Americans off of their land, so they're not. I don't subscribe to that. Excuse me, I don't subscribe to that. But if we're gonna say that about the Native black people calling themselves natives, then why? There's a whole bunch of Caucasians that are sitting there calling themselves Native American.
We make fun of whites that maybe have 20% at most DNA, and they say like, oh yeah, I'm a Native American. No, you're a fucking pretender, is what you are. And you even get people like
$5 Indian.
And who is that? Elizabeth Warren? Like, she's an example. She's somebody who did this woman of color bullshit, and she's like 3% fucking Native American.
Yeah, even when she lied, she's still senator. That's crazy.
Well, that testing site is for entertainment purposes only. It's not accurate.
She's not a fucking Indian.
Yeah, but that's enough to her.
Yeah, but a lot of it isn't true because the way that they go through data processing for genetics, it's not as accurate as you think it is. That's why when you look all the way down on both of those genetic websites, they tell you it's for entertainment purposes only. In fact, Henry Louis Gates even said it himself. He's like, he even admitted that it's not all the way accurate.
That's very factual. Thank you, brother.
Hey, I have a question.
For enlightening Pepe.
I got a question for you, One Mike. If you're asking, can we live in harmony? Can we live in peace? If that's the case, right? If you want to live in harmony, do you have to look at crime statistics and you would have to try to lower crime, right? So you would have to look at what group of people are committing the most crimes.
You wouldn't have to actually lower crime because majority of the crime is done in America. To Americans, it's done from a corporate entity, usually white owned. They do the most damage. Now, if you want to talk about drugs and petty theft, that happens in all communities.
What about murder?
Because if you go to Oklahoma, Idaho, Iowa, there's white boys killing each other, shooting cops.
No, we kill each other.
I got a lot of friends in the military and in the police throughout the United States. And these white boys, they take a lot of these police heads off. So crime doesn't necessarily have to do anything with race. It has to do with circumstances. Any nigga that gets, his pockets get a little light, the baby starts screaming, he might want to go outside and do something, whether he white, black, or yellow.
Yeah, but if you
look at the Ozarks. Ain't no blacks over there, and there's a lot of white on white crime. So you wouldn't really have to look into crime statistics because at the end of the day, most Americans have a lot in common, whether they white, black, or yellow, whatever the hell you want to call them. Most Americans do. It's usually media. People like Pepe, they like to harp on the differences, but in most cases, we want to be fed, we want sex from our women, we want our kids to be fucking safe. Some pedophiles, which statistically usually like older white men.
No, actually, statistically, no.
I'd rather have a nigga in my.
Yeah, okay, Jaguar, we get it.
Every now and then there's somebody that is a predator.
The statistics, though, are very clear on pedophilia. All violent sexual offenses are committed at higher rate. Shut the fuck up and let me finish. Let me finish, Jaguar. Shut the fuck up. All violent sexual offenses occur at a higher rate amongst black males than they do with white males. That is a fact. Now, there's one little area where of sex offenders where white men are overrepresented. That is child pornography.
Really?
Yes, but you guys touch kids. But you guys touch kids at a higher rate. You rape kids and you rape women at a higher rate than white men. That's a fucking
Jack, you just have to look at the New York City crime stats.
We all have to be honest with ourselves. The people who
you gotta look at a nationwide, Pepe. Don't look at one state. Come on.
No, this is national.
No, I mentioned that.
I heard somebody say state.
Yeah, I said New York City because you just look at that and
the overall look at it nationally so we can see
the problem with FBI. The problem with national statistics, at least. Because during the Biden administration, major cities didn't actually post their stats to the FBI, so that really couldn't compete in the same way they used to in different years. So hopefully during the Trump administration that's changing. But New York City was absent, so they had to estimate their.
No, it's true. You gotta think about something, all right?
We're not. If we can't see the Epstein files, what makes you think shit's gonna change under Trump?
Hold on.
I'm cool with him for business reasons, but when it comes to morals,
the Epstein files or
Jesus Christ, Manville was talking, guys. Don't talk over.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to make a point about the Epstein files.
Created by Jews. It's a bunch of bull.
What?
Whoa, relax.
Wait, what did he say about the Jews?
Is that all of this?
Nobody brought that up.
Shut the fuck up and let Manville go.
The Jews are the enemy.
God damn. Am I really quiet right now? Because I'm just talking in my truck system instead of like.
No, we can't hear you.
Everybody's heading on white.
Okay.
Everybody's heading on black people. As soon as you say something about Jews, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you can't do this.
Stop, relax, come on. They might be a plant, because that was a strong reaction.
Can we let Manuel talk? Yes or no?
These statistics were all collected during the Obama administration, during the Biden administration. They had every incentive in the world, institutionally, with all of their bosses, to find the best stats possible, to massage it, to make all of the race issues look and go their way. And despite that, they fucking couldn't do it. They tried hard as shit to get rid of Roland Fryer's study, to make him prove that his study was truthful, and they spent a crapload more money trying to disprove his shit than actually trying to accept that he did good work. And that was a black guy, right? They have tried and tried and tried, but the thing that they can't hide under every kind of fucking term, under every kind of excuse, they're robbing people because they're in a food desert. They're hungry. That's why they're stealing the computers from the Apple store during the riot. Every excuse in the book. They cannot deal with the numbers that are coming out of just general police reports in America. You put those together and you realize that we have a serious problem with a specific group of 14 to 24-year-old black males, predominantly in major cities, that don't finish school. Those guys themselves kill half the people who get murdered in this country.
Wait, in Portland and Boise
3.5% of the population.
Like Bismarck? Like, what are you talking about?
Bro, cut it out.
It's a black city.
Bismarck, the big major city of the United States, Bismarck.
Well, hold on. I just looked it up, and according to the statistics in America, more white people are definitely arrested for child pornography, child sexual predator, period, than black people are. So Pepper's just an idiot and a liar.
Talking about, but I let him talk.
Pepper's just an idiot and a liar. And gay.
Throw the stat in the chat for me, Doug.
I said child pornography is where they're overrepresented when it comes
to
sexual assault.
Behavior, sir.
I'm looking at it right here. Sexual assault, it says right here, is done by more whites in America than blacks.
Per capita, you dipshit.
Yes, dickhead, that means they're doing it more. That means they like dipping their fingers in women's and little kids' butts, white people.
Per capita, moron.
So, how many white people are in America?
A lot, a fuck ton. Well, actually, no.
Well,
COVID knocked y'all down.
They make up 58% of the country.
Population.
Look at that. You
How many white people are in America?
You got
I think we're about 13%.
Hold on, like I said, they make up 58% of the population, white people of America. 58%.
And how many black people are in America?
You mean black Americans?
I think the black American percentage went down. There's a lot of Africans and Caribbeans now.
That's why I asked those. Are you talking about white Americans and black Americans, or
white people are about 200 million? Yeah, but you know what's funny is that like Nigerians are both the richest and the least criminal.
No, Asian Americans are the richest immigrants. Asian Americans, Indians
have more money.
They own a fuck ton of land in the Midwest. They grow weed. Nah, don't do that. The Asians are fucking y'all asses up. Y'all number 2 now. Asian Americans, they got all the Dunkin' Donuts. They own 70% of the hotels.
It's okay.
What are you talking about? Hey, Africans tend to work for people. They're doctors, lawyers, engineers. They don't really do commerce like that, the way Asians do. So stop it.
Well, Indians
I don't understand why you're
contributing to society.
A shitty fucking merchant class as like a grand virtuous thing.
I didn't say it was. I was just correcting your friend.
The way you said it seemed like you were.
I know you don't like the way I said it. I get it, Manuel. All I'm saying is that the most successful immigrants in America are Asian Americans, particularly Indians. Underneath them, Asians. When's the last time you went to a Dunkin' and you ain't hear like hello, how can I take your order?
Wow, that's
You can hear that at Dunkin', right? Especially in the major cities. I know here in New York City, Indians own that shit. You feel me? So when it comes to like the most successful, it's Asian Americans. Nigerians tend to do doctor, lawyer, engineer, and they work for companies.
Well, bro, you might think they're Indian because you're not knowing
that's
shit,
a
right?
way-
But a lot of them actually are Indian. They're like more Bangladeshi and, you know,
That's a way to get
Pakistani.
Successful. I don't know very many anesthesiologists that are struggling.
So what are you saying? What was your point after I corrected you? Because you're trying to take a stab at Nigeria. Who like help you with heart surgery and brain surgery and shit like that.
Now you need to shut up and let me talk. You're asking if the other types of black people that the general category is counting that you don't feel should be included in a conversation.
I didn't say I felt they shouldn't be included. I said that there's not a lot of black Americans in major cities. It's mostly Africans and Caribbeans that are outnumbering them now. So if you want to say black people, what black people are you talking about?
If you want to find the major cities in America that have a lot of American blacks, then you want to look at the major cities in America that have the highest murder rates.
Regardless of that, what's the percentage, brother? Because we were talking percentages. Remember?
It's called St. Louis, Baltimore.
I'm not asking about the place. I'm asking for a number, Manville. Because you're talking numbers, right? Which is weird because there's way more white people. So like, how do we murder more of ourselves than you murder of yourselves when there's more of you?
Well, actually, you know,
this is a serious question. It's like showing the FBI, the IQ difference.
That's a fantastic question. That's a fantastic question. So the answer is, right, if there were 100 white people and 10 of them committed murder, and there were 10 black people and 2 of them committed murder, right? Then the black murder rate would be double the white murder rate. But the number of
there you go. So you admit that it's skewed, right? The way you look at it, right?
No, he's trying to explain to you, right? No, you don't understand.
You're like, well, they killed double. I'm like, but what does it matter? It's 2 to 10. At that point.
You don't understand.
Like, I understand, but what I'm trying to say is like, you just equated 2 to 10 for percentage purposes, right? But I never even give a fuck about people dying. Niggas die every day. I'm talking about the corruption that gets put into food. I'm talking about like corporate corruption.
Have been killed.
Like that's what I'm talking about. Niggas die every day. White people die every day.
Hey, Manville, you forgot the the white people.
With it.
The white people.
Because white people, I'm more accepting of people killing each other than on purpose. Companies putting shit in fucking food and like clothing that'll fuck up black people and black people. Guys, fucking y'all up too.
White people are responsible for putting things in the food.
That's what I worry about.
So white people are responsible for putting things in the food. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, Nestle, Kellogg's, those are white owned, aren't they? I worry about the corporate threat of white people. I don't give a fuck if some white boy shoots another white.
You guys keep on.
That's gonna happen. I'm worried about like the chemicals in our water.
Preventative measures.
Jesus Christ, Jaguar, stop acting like a goddamn monkey.
Like I'm not acting like a human. The monkeys go. They make sounds. I'm talking to you. I may be over talking to you, but like nothing. Nowhere near monkey behavior.
Keep on interrupting.
I'm acting the same way you are.
Stop acting like a homosexual.
Shut the fuck up, you goya bean eating spit.
Now like putting goya beans in your
better than that, man.
Now, okay, so, all right, just let Manville, go ahead, Manville.
Y'all so, like, elementary with your spit, like, come on, man.
No, so why don't you understand why don't you understand the per capita comparison?
It's not, I don't give a fuck about per capita. I'm talking about, like, the fucking bread aisle. There's paint thinner in the bread. Who put that there? White people. Sarah Lee, whoever the fuck that is.
How do you know?
She put it in there.
Well, Sarah Lee is dead. Just so you know.
I know, but I know someone owns that and they ain't black. and they put paint thinner in the
This is
fucking
like the
in the
lowest
cereal
IQ bullshit,
and
dude.
in the bread.
That's not no lie. Those are realities, you homosexual. Most of those Fortune 500 companies, especially dealing with food, are owned by white people. And they're the ones who put the chemicals within the food.
Amazing.
Sanctioned by the government.
Also, a lot of white people.
All right, let me go.
Is not your fault. What you personally choose to feed your family is not your fault.
No, I go to like a lot of Amish dudes and get like half a cow. I don't buy
Amish
shit.
guys are right.
I know
Amish
what's
guys
in
are
it,
right.
and I think it's wrong for white people to like be okay with shit in their food. You need to talk to your white men. Clean up the food, man. Clean up the water, the air too. Cause y'all spraying chemicals on yourselves too. That's white man shit too. When I was in the Air Force, I seen some of those planes. It was white men flying them shits too. I'm just saying, I don't care about a black dude killing another black dude. That's gonna happen. A white dude's gonna kill another white dude. Shoot, you got Palestinians running from Jews, and when they see a black man like me, they step aside. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it doesn't matter. What matters is what affects the masses. Because regardless of whether you white and I'm black, we still breathe the same air in America.
Can I just back up Jaguar's claims just on the child porn thing? White people are overrepresented in child porn cases.
I already said that like twice.
Oh well, there's some people that were making contention. They went on about per capita, and in per capita, white people are overrepresented in child porn cases.
That's the kind of white I like.
No, we conceded that point.
Jaguar,
And then per capita, what about like almost every other crime on the books?
You mean like selling our secrets to other countries like Biden did?
Dude, what the fuck? No, hey, listen, none of that shit.
You mean like sending his son to Russia to go smoke crack?
Jaguar.
No, Jaguar. This is what they do.
Guys, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up while free range is going, dude. Stop cutting off the mod.
My bad, Pepe, my bad.
Yeah. So this is why we always have a miss on this issue because we're trying to obfuscate to some shit that has. Yeah, you good. This is why we have an issue because we obfuscate to something that has nothing to do with it. Our demographic, I'm a black male American. Our demographic have an issue with violence, okay, and it supersedes any other group. We're about approximately 5 to 6% of the population, okay, and I'll say black women too, but let's just focus on that. We do a lot of fucking crime, particularly violent crime, where there's no excuse for it except the culture that we allowed ourselves to get this bad. And when you start obfuscating about policies and other countries and all this other goofy shit, chemicals in food, that has nothing to do with it. We're talking about intentional black males going out with the intent to kill someone for either their pleasure or to get something as much as money. And this shit has no excuse for it. So every time you try not to address the issue, you actually enable it. You pacify the problem. So let's stick on that. I'm going to ask you a direct question. Do you believe our demographic have a problem with violence? That's to you, Jaguar.
Well, Jaguar is not here. He left, I guess. But
okay.
Yeah, you know, free. I'm not gonna give Pepe nothing for free. You know what I'm saying? Or Manville, they gotta fight for that shit. But yeah, niggas be wilding in the hood. I'm not like debating that, but I'll never let Pepe like go over the fact
do we
that
have
like
to put your do we have to put your monkey
everything
asses
in here-
back in the okay? All right, nigger, enjoy the audience.
So Jaguar, since he's in the audience, but that's the issue. You don't want to give him the satisfaction. But keep in mind, I'm a black male. I don't like this shit either, but it's not about how I feel about it. It's about addressing the issues like rehab. Regardless of when people go to rehab and they admit they're a coke addict or alcohol or whatever, this shit is embarrassing. But the biggest issue is being able to face it because you can't fix it if you don't fucking face it. And right now we're at a point in our society where we don't address shit that's what Pepe and other white people feel about our problems is far less worse than the actual problem itself. Who gives a fuck? Like I could die.
Isn't the first step admitting you have a problem, right?
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but the point is, they're saying we don't want to give white people the satisfaction of us knowing it. But it's like you act like white people don't know this shit. Like they don't see the same shit we see.
So look,
free range.
knee-jerk reaction.
I say something? Damn, I ain't say shit yet.
A gun that isn't a fucking Glock covered in juice.
But free range. I think what Jaguar's problem with it is that we know also in America. Yeah, we know that the Black American community has a thing with a lot of violence. But are you trying to tell me that white Americans that do commit also a lot of violence a lot of them are not even arrested for it. A lot of them are not sought after for those kind of crimes, even though they probably commit them at the same high rate. There are also many black Americans who have been convicted and accused of crimes that white people did.
The problem, or the weakness of that argument is the weakness of that argument is that the unsolved crimes, like the unsolved serious violent crimes in this country, are mostly clustered around the proportions of communities where you would expect the rest of the crimes that have been detected are clustered. So there's no evidence to suggest that the undetected crimes have a different ratio racially in who's committing them. The second point is we don't have a lot of undetected crimes in the country. There are some exceptions where the clearance rate in homicides and things like that go down, but clearance rate and knowing who did it are kind of, two different things. And as far as like undetected, we can't figure out who beat this lady and stole her purse or who murdered this guy. America does an exceptional job of detecting crime.
They also do a great job of framing people for crimes.
To hide it.
They also do a great job of framing people for crimes they didn't commit, especially black people.
Hey, real quick. So, here's the thing, right? And this is where when you deal with numbers and you deal with calculating different numbers and whatnot, like from these different intelligence agencies like the FBI and the CIA, it's not to say that they don't bring out certain truths, because they do. But at the same time, when you deal with certain of these districts throughout the country, they don't report every single crime and every single situation from every demographic in all these districts. Actually, a lot of these counties are not required, right? Especially like some of the ones that are not known. They're not required to report all the crime statistics that they have too. So the point is just putting everything in its proper perspective. And, here's the thing with the per capita thing, right? We can do the whole per capita thing, like, measuring someone's demographic or somebody's the amount of people versus the other amount of people to compare per rate and whatnot. But at the end of the day, we got to just tally up the numbers of who's doing the most crime and who's killing the most people and who's doing the most fuck shit. At the end of the day, that's what we have to deal with. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Because per capita is more just comparing this rate versus this rate of people because we're trying to bridge the gap because the numbers are so disparate as far as the amount of people.
Here's a difference. Here's a difference though that is cultural, that has an effect. When you recognize the 80-20 rule and you're a member of the 80% and you see the 20% that are being criminal dickheads, and your reaction to that is, oh fuck, here these guys go again, making the 80% look like trash because they can't control themselves. That's the same thing that cops say when they see a motherfucker kneeling on a dude and smiling for the camera and digging in a little more when the fat lesbian on the sidewalk asks them to stop. That's the same fucking thing that white people see when they see another white mass shooter and his face gets plastered all over the news. Look at this horrible, terrible guy. Especially if they're targeting minorities. That guy's everywhere. And the vast majority, the 80% of white people who don't have those kind of views, go, here we fucking go again, making the problem worse. The reaction from the black community, it doesn't seem like 80% of the people have a problem with it. It seems like maybe a third of black people think reasonably and are willing to condemn interracial violence as much as they are intraracial violence across the board. There's 30% that's apathetic and really isn't paying attention at all, nor cares. And then there's 30% that is absolutely fucking like revolution to the core. There's nothing a black person can do to another race of people that will ever be as bad as what was done to us, and everything is justified no matter what. Black power.
Yeah, let me say something real quick, and I'll be brief. This was it was a stats from Detroit and Chicago where a lot of violent crimes went unsolved. And according to this AI overview, it says in Chicago, a significant percentage of violent crimes go unsolved, with homicide clearance rates particularly low, especially in predominantly black neighborhoods. While the Chicago Police Department solves about half of the city's homicides annually, this rate is significantly lower for black victims, and large portion of the non-fatal shootings, about 85-90%, also go unsolved. So statistically speaking, that means that to Rayaba point was making, it actually looked worse if we was to actually get an accurate number of how much crime go unsolved and how many people are solved and how many people actually committed. Meaning that if we were to get the raw numbers, it would be far worse. So the numbers we have now is it's bad. It's fucking terrible. But if we actually got the transparency of what it was and got that up, it would make it worse for us. So bottom line is, as of what we're looking at, is scary enough for us to address. And we're saying that we don't have